Welcome back to the watch. Welcome to the Culture Crusade. Oh, it's good to be back. Good to see everyone here. How are you guys? How you been?
Good.
Very well. Very well.
I have been going good. I've been working on a project behind the scenes. In fact, I was giving the guys here a sneak peek at some of the designs and stuff.
A lot of plot. Lot of
plots. A lot of
huge tracks.
Two large.
Two massive plot points. Big plot points. Big.
Sometimes people
hard to get around those plot points.
Hey.
You said hard.
Some people just have those plot points. What can we? Have you guys seen this?
Yeah, I have.
Indeed. Some women have those plot points. Although Lara Croft does not.
There's no story at all.
I'm actually my next video is I'm gonna redesign Lara Croft.
There you go.
Yeah, well, she needs it. Like, this one was a funny one.
I saw a cosplay.
Where are they?
Did you see the cosplay of this? The girl.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so good. It was so good.
Oh my God. What are they doing in the world? I tried. And it wasn't because I thought it would be good. This was like, am I going to bother to review it? And so I put on this Netflix Lara Croft Tomb Raider thing. I couldn't get through the first episode. It was just...
Is it about that bad?
I mean, it was just uninteresting. And also, they've tried to offset all the woke elements to try and bait people in on the first episode, but the first episode just was boring and uninteresting. They give you no reason to be interested in Lara or to be invested in what's going on. The animation is air. Character design is pretty flat. Pun intended.
Not a lot of plot.
Not a lot of plot. But also it turns out
over that plot.
Yeah. Turns out they also there is a lot of woke stuff in it. Like Lara is now gay, of course, and then another character is gay, and there's a whole thing about her relationships and stuff like that. And it's like it's not a hard formula to get Lara Croft right. You just need to make her really attractive, doing awesome things, getting treasure. And they failed at that. And so I was like, nah, can't be bothered with that. Have you guys seen anything or don't know anything about this?
Like the Angelina Jolie movies were a little, I mean, they weren't the greatest thing on the planet, but they were just fun. They were just popcorn fun. They were just
They had a lot of plot though.
But Angelina Jolie cut her plots off.
Well, but you know why she did that?
She got a plotstectomy.
Plotstectomy. You know why she did that though, right?
Yeah, because she listened to bad doctors.
I heard it was because there was a lot of breast cancer in her family, and she was worried about it. That's what I heard.
In her family, not in her.
I don't know.
In her family.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a good reason or not. I'm just saying, like, she didn't do it for like the message.
She deflated, and she's like, you know what? I need an upgrade. I need an excuse. Let's go.
Is it?
That's
Probably back.
Yeah, it turns out women over 50 aren't as perky. Never mind. We're not going to continue.
We're not. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. But honestly, the greatest travesty in Hollywood history was Jennifer Connelly getting the breast reduction. I don't know what the hell she was thinking.
I don't even.
She was really good in the Labyrinth.
Jennifer Connelly, you mean?
Jennifer Connelly. Yeah,
she was a child in Labyrinth. I'm talking.
But she was a good actor in it. That's what are you talking about?
Legendary.
Great.
He was legendary in the Labyrinth.
Let's change the subject.
All right, change the subject.
Anyone watching at Jennifer Connelly? Everyone was looking at David Bowie's bulge. Right.
Well, there's that. Anyone watching Ranma Half and Dan on Netflix? Gentlemen, any of you guys watching any of those?
I've heard decent things about Don to Don in the manga adaptation, but I've not. Is it a manga or is it a manhwa? I don't remember. What country? Is it Japanese?
Anime now.
Is it? Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you gentlemen know of Ranma Half?
Oh yeah, that's
what?
the one everyone likes on Twitter because it's basically a person who goes from male to female if she gets wet or not.
Okay, so there is a more complicated background understanding for Ranma half, and look, here's the thing: parts of it are inappropriate, and parts of it is a bit too lewd for a very conservative Christian like me. The thing is, though, it is so damn funny. It's probably one of the more entertaining animes ever made. It has quite a large, I guess, legacy in terms of popularity.
Huh.
And it was made in a time when none of this political crap was around. Right now, Ranma half is like the perfect thing for activists to try and jump on and co-opt.
I've never even heard it. What's it streaming on?
I'm conserved. I'm
I've seen
concerned.
commercials, I just haven't watched it.
Okay, so there is a remake of Ranma half out on Netflix, and I have watched the first 2 episodes to try and see what's the go here, right? Before I go into this, I'm not sure if I'm gonna make a full video on this subject or not, but it's worth a discussion because I like hearing your guys' opinions. Chat brought it up, and there's some really interesting parts to talk about in regards to how it plays in the podcast.
So okay, so they're doing a remake on Netflix. Can I find the original anywhere?
I looked. The original is on okay. In Australia, it's just Hulu. Hulu has the original.
Oh shit, I don't have Hulu.
Or you can find the Hulu has the dubbed, and this is the original, and the original has like 100 and something more episodes. Like it's actually quite a large series.
This is the first thing I see when I bring up Netflix new Ranma 1/2 reboot brings back this beloved gender swapping classic.
See, I can't. Already they're trying to co-opt it.
It's all about gender swapping.
It's all about gender swapping now. It's freak because it was never about that. In actual fact, the original Ranma half is
1989, 6 seasons.
Yeah,
wow,
it's pretty old. Yeah,
it's pretty old.
Damn.
The original Ranma half actually. Yeah, it's on Tubi, but it's only the only subtitle. You won't get the dubbed on.
Damn
Tubi,
it!
But
I don't like subtitled.
Darn it!
It's actually the subtitles
Royce
fine.
does not a read.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, I know how to
Tubi
read.
is
I
free.
cannot stand
free.
Japanese voice acting. It is so great.
What?
I fucking
Kick
hate
him.
it. Dude, I don't even like I can barely tolerate American voice acting. Japanese voice acting just hits a
Japanese
level.
voice acting is the best.
Voice actors
No, it's not.
In
It's
anime
annoying.
style, you're just
Good
gonna-
actor.
Well, let me rephrase that. Japanese anime voice acting
Oh,
is
so good.
no,
dude.
it's not. It's horrible. It's so
Okay.
grating. I can't. I have
No,
tried.
right, you're wrong.
This is
That's
so
it. End of
wrong.
story.
You know
Shame on
what, dude? I'm good with it. I
Can you
don't
put a
care.
poll
I
up
don't
in the
care.
chat?
I can't. Like, because a lot of people are like, just read, dude. I suffered through Dragon Ball Super.
Okay.
I hate it, and I know, but I love Dragon Ball, and I suffered through that, and almost stopped watching Super because they didn't have the dub here. I cannot do the sound. It just
I mean, at this point, what's worse? Me liking Joker 2 or Royce saying that anime voice actors are terrible?
I didn't say the voice actors were terrible. I said the sound is terrible. I didn't say the actors were terrible. I said the sound.
Anime voice
I can't
actors
do
are
the
terrible.
sound.
Well,
I can't.
It sounds like home to me.
Royce, Ranma half original Japanese actually is one of the clearest and really high quality ones. There was a guy who was teaching English. He was teaching Japanese, and Ranma half he actually remarked on and said this is actually one of the clearest voice recordings in terms if you wanted to learn Japanese, this has really good kind of pronunciation and stuff in it. But I actually like the dub of the original Ranma half probably a bit better than the original Japanese. I've tried it in both, and the original dub is actually really good, and it's better than the remake. So here's the premise of Ranma half, and this is why people are going to be jumping all over it in the modern day, which pisses me off because it was never meant for this, right? Ranma half is a martial artist. So Ranma is a teenage martial artist who went with his dad to train in this cursed training ground in China. that has all these cursed pools of water. And if you fall into one of these pools of water, you then turn into the last thing that died in that pool of water whenever water is splashed on you. His dad fell into the pool of drowned panda. Whenever he's splashed with water, he turns into a panda. And Ranma fell into the pool of drowned girl. And whenever he's splashed with water, he turns into a girl.
That's funny.
Like, and it's a full transformation. Everything is transformed. And you can tell why, in the modern day, people would love that concept. It's a gender swapping thing. But the thing is, though, this is what they don't get if they're trying to politicize this. Ranma is a dude, 100%. He's actually almost like, he's almost a misogynist in terms of how blokey he is. Is like, I'm not going to fight a girl or stuff like that.
That's you Hakusho also. I don't want to fight girls.
Yeah, exactly.
So when he turns into a girl, does he just feel himself up all the time?
I think that
he doesn't even. They don't go in that. They don't go in that. Like when he turns into a girl, he's just like, I'm a girl now. He's used to it, and he doesn't do any of that stuff. Right?
That's where we are now. Like having the very idea of not wanting to brutalize a woman in combat is misogyny.
Right. And the thing is, though, he is also a bit of a chauvinist. He's arrogant and cocky, but is also a decent dude and everything like that. He's a well-written character who will yell at you. And so the thing is, though, that setup is such a hilarious premise for hijinks and conflict. Mm-hmm. And because what happens...
goes back and forth between it and... Okay.
And he tries to hide that he has this curse. He is ashamed, and also he's ashamed of the curse. He thinks he's a freak. Okay, and it's used as for comedy. His dad is like really upset. Is like, well, how could this happen to my manly son and stuff like that? He is half a girl. This is a tragedy.
And he's a panda.
He turns into a panda.
The dad is a panda.
They turn back. They turn back when they have
a panda or a girl. Honestly.
Wait, what?
I mean, if that was your curse, would you choose turning into a girl or
a whole franchise? If we started to become a kung fu panda,
probably panda.
Probably panda.
That would be very inconvenient. I mean,
potentially.
You're bigger, stronger.
Okay, so
pandas aren't
here's
that big.
So here's no. So here's
pandas are like the size of a small dog.
Here is my rationale on this. I live in a house full of women who love animals. And my daughters would be like, Dad, turn into a panda and give us a ride around the front yard. And I'm like, all right. And so I would turn into a panda. And
it's starting to sound like a turning red, where she turns into a red panda that gives all of the boys a ride.
I don't know.
Okay, we're getting a little off topic.
What if you have to turn into a
but
girl
the
panda,
is
though?
I'm a dad.
A boy panda.
Like, I'm a dad.
Girl panda?
And I would just turn into a panda and then, never mind. You're weird.
Okay. So,
wouldn't be able to draw.
Right? One of the crucial parts of the story. And so far, the remake is being correct to this. It's just people want to jump on it and then twist it for a different narrative. Right. So far, the remake actually hasn't gone off the rails. But the key point is that he never identifies as a girl. He is a dude all the time, and he wants the curse to be lifted and is embarrassed by it. And it gets really weird because when water splashes on him, he turns into a girl. Hot warm water turns back into a guy. He tries to hide it, and one of the premise is that his dad has betrothed him. He's engaged with one of the daughters of his best friend, who is also a martial arts guy as well, and she is a tomboy, and she and so they don't want to have this engagement. But everyone else is in love with Akane and wants to marry her, and they get angry with Ranma that he's engaged. And then it turns out his dad actually has betrothed him to multiple people throughout his life, and he gets all these different fiancés that end up fighting for him. And it's kind of like a romantic comedy,
yet
martial
hilarious.
Arts spoof. It's funny as hell. And the concept is that he is a practitioner of the anything goes martial arts, and they have the most wacky types of martial arts in the world, where he fights all these different people. Like one is a martial art of like cooking, and she's one of the fiancés, and it's just it's hilarious. Ranma Half is actually hilarious, and there was no political messaging behind it. It was just there for hijinks and comedy. And
it's funny when he turns into a girl. That's kind of what the extent of it is. It's not saying some message. It's just funny when he turns to a girl. That's the kind of it.
And like there's this one guy who doesn't know Ranma it has this curse, and he is in love with the female version of
no.
Ranma, and
That's fine.
Ranma can't stand it. He's so creeped out by it because this guy is always hitting on him, I should say, when he's in his girl form, and it's just funny. It's just funny, ridiculous.
Yeah, but like I feel bad for that guy though.
Yeah.
He's like crushing on this chick, and he's like, "Hey,
I've got
bro, by
news
the
for
way,
you."
I don't know if you know this, but I'm not what you think I am." And the guy's like, "Ah!"
And so there are some inappropriate.
That sounds great.
I don't. There are some inappropriate things in it, but it never goes to in the realms of sex or anything like that in Ranma.
No.
In fact, it avoids that completely. Okay. But there is like this creepy little martial arts instructor who's like this old creepy pervert.
Oh yeah, no, that's a Japanese
trope. Well, this one has like that character type in the extreme, where it's trying to steal girls' underwear all the time off their lives.
That's the Roshi type.
But the thing is, though, that character is used as like everyone thinks is a creep in the show, and is constantly, yelled at and rejected in areas, not to try and promote or celebrate any of that stupid stuff. Is used as a comedic kind of thing. So the remake, right? I don't know what the point of it is. They are actually following nearly beat for beat the original, with only minor, and I mean minor changes, where the only thing difference is that it's high definition and it's but the scenes are the same. And they miss some of the my brain just went dead. Some of the, when you sell a joke, what's the payoff the joke? It's the
punchline.
Thank you. They miss the punchline in certain gags in the remake where they don't miss it in the show, in the original. And the original actually has really good animation. It's just not high definition. And so I don't really see a point to the remake then. Just go watch the original.
Oh, they shot it on 35 probably. Back then.
I don't know, but it's animation. So
yeah.
I mean, I would think what would be much better would be a remaster. Like you could use AI.
Take every frame and AI it, yeah.
Yeah, if you just AI and upscale every frame, you could make that thing look friggin' amazing and keep the fidelity of the original. And the animation is actually really good in the original. So I do not see a point.
Old school Japanese animation is phenomenal for its time, being all that it was all hand drawn. Oh, it's fucking killer.
Yeah, is there anything that ever got better than Akira?
I mean, what's another? There's another remake out at the moment, and I can't remember what it was. But it crossed my radar as well, which made me think: is there a point to this? Like, why are you even doing it?
Potentially to increase the sales of the IP or IP retention. That's a lot of times, like if you don't do anything with the IP. Now, I don't know how Japanese laws are, but I know I know they're somewhat similar to American laws. So if they are similar, it would be, we haven't done anything with this IP. If we don't do anything, we're going to lose it. And so we've got to do something. And so they remake it and they retain their IP rights.
Okay.
I heard it's really stringent. Like they don't have like that kind of thing. Just you get to keep it forever.
Okay, no, I wasn't sure. I was just that was just my.
It might be just as simple as like modern kids. Kids my age when they were like, I don't want to watch black and white. Maybe kids nowadays are like, I don't want to watch low def.
Maybe. The whole series is available for free on Tubi in the original Japanese, and you can get if you're in the US and you have Hulu, the dubbed version is on Hulu. And it's like you have 6 seasons of hilarious anime. It is inappropriate, so content warning for younger kids and stuff.
But TV 14, or are we talking more?
No, there's nudity in it. You have to be careful.
Okay, so definitely. Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. So there's that content warning with it.
Gotcha.
One of my concerns is that one of the reasons why they would want to remake it is to make it for modern audiences. And I've only seen 2 episodes of the remake. That's the only ones that are out. And so far, it's been beat for beat, but that doesn't mean they could go off the rails. Yeah. Yet at the same time, I'm assuming this remake is made in Japan, and they are not as drowned in the woke crap.
Not yet.
So
BlackRock is trying to get involved, though.
There's that. So I'm wondering, maybe people, it's just because people, you know, want to watch it in more modern animation where it's more higher definition. But with animation, higher definition doesn't do too much because it's lines.
If the animation was already, well, it would take it up from 480 to potentially like 1080, or even, I mean, possibly 4. I wouldn't know if I would want to go by it. But again, it would change the aspect ratio. Doing it would change the aspect ratio, because back then we were at 480p. And so changing the aspect ratio, taking it into 1080 potentially.
Maybe. The concern I have, if this is made in Japan and they want to do a faithful remake, the concern I have is then with the localization, even the subtitles. I'm not sure I can trust the subtitles and the dub. There's one thing that so Akane, in the original, she doesn't like boys because she's annoyed by them because boys are always hitting on her and wanting to propose to her, and she hates boys as a result. In the remake, they're having she hates men, given the same reasons, but the original, it was always translated to boys. This one, they translate it to men. And I'm just like, look, it's a small little thing. I'm wondering, is that like a modern? But I don't know.
That's one of those. More evidence required on that one, but definitely seems like you're starting to lean. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, because like a teenage girl hating boys because boys are immature and icky and stuff like that. That's just like normal teenage stuff. But like she hates men specifically, and it's like, well, that's one of the, but look, it could be nothing. I'll just wait and see. So I'm going to keep an eye on it because I really don't see a point, but all right, we'll see what happens. If anything, it's making me want to watch the original because the original is all there. And if this remake is just the same plot and it's just a beat for beat remake, you can go watch the original. Any problem solved.
Well, and it might, again, if it is something, if they do a beat for beat original, maybe it's to try to introduce it to newer audiences, to younger audiences, because this is older than me. This anime is older than I am. So it's 30 plus years old.
There is one thing that I probably will give credit to the remake. They have so far avoided most nudity in it, where things have things covering stuff, which I would give a point. Though there is one moment in like episode 1 where they show a character topless, but they don't show any of the details. It's like they're a Barbie doll. You know how they do that sometimes?
Yeah.
And so,
and maybe that again, it could be for audience reach. Maybe
that maybe make it a little bit more
more PG-13 instead of
PG. Exactly.
Yeah. That could be
so.
Most anime they don't show niblets, right?
Most
it depends on the anime, but there is a lot where they don't. Like Evangelion, the original, they avoided any of the stuff like that to try and make it a little bit, I say kid friendly when the subject matter is still pretty mature. So that's probably the difference. Maybe.
Again, you probably won't know until the end of the remake, right? Or further into the remake.
Yeah. I'll keep an eye on it. Like if they try and hijack this for modern audiences when this is not the intent of the thing, like there's no there's no gender, LGBT themes in Ranma Half at all. He's a guy who's embarrassed by his curse and they use it for comedic payoffs and stuff like that. And it's not about, gender swapping in any measure. If they go anywhere in that regard, I'll be like, you did it. You screwed it up. So that's that. That's thank you for the chat. And also we got 5 gifted memberships. Legend, check that out. Real Bob Newman.
5 gifted memberships. Oh my God. Say it with some gusto, Chad. That's 5
gifted memberships, baby. Hell yeah.
His face turned red. Oh my God! I thought he was gonna.
I can go. I
thought he was gonna pop a blood vessel. That was wow.
Yeah. Localizers, more like vocalizers. Yeah. I will be keeping an eye on that because I think they won't be able to resist. I'm a feeling that they're gonna throw in some, but at the same time they usually do it with smaller things. Ranma Half is actually a very well-established, well-known property in the anime sphere. And so if they try and hijack Ranma Half,
legendary.
Yeah, it almost has a legendary status. The original voice actors became celebrities on Ranma Half.
That's Japan.
Yeah, it's Japan. Like they became big names in Japan. And that's actually one of the reasons that made it difficult for them to continue making Ranma Half, because the price of the voice actors were going so high because they were getting so popular.
Excuse me.
So, in other news, we got to talk. I think this is one of the.
Oh, wow, there's 38 volumes of the manga.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like I said, this is what would you call it? Like Bleach of its day. Like it was long, it was big, it was popular, it was long running, and it was funny. It's just a really funny.
89.
thing.
That's running along. That's running along Dragon Ball and.
Yeah, it was 87 to 96.
Oh wow, yeah. So that's running really right along Dragon Ball.
Has 151 episodes in its animation, and like I said, they're all available. Like I don't know, again, this remake you can watch them for free on Tubi, or if you have Hulu, you get the dub.
If they are trying to tone down some of like the nudity and stuff and some things like that, and if that's all they're trying to do is just tone it down so it can be for more of an audience, you know, younger people and stuff like that. I think that's fair.
That's probably good. I agree.
I think that's fair, especially if it's a good story.
Like, and if they remain true to the original and they make it a little bit more teenager friendly, I wouldn't call it kid friendly. I was like, okay, all right, I might give more credit to this reboot. We'll see where it goes. I'll keep an eye on it.
We shall see.
Hey, Buddy Rabbit, $2. Wait, it is a Tuesday. Yeah, we probably should have mentioned that.
Oh, yeah. We did last week.
We did. I think we did.
We just didn't say it was going to be Monday.
We hadn't decided by the end of the show last week. We decided after the show, and then apparently we didn't tell anybody. Kind of like Shad didn't tell me last week what time to be here.
No, he did. I was there. I saw that.
I technically did.
You were.
I technically did.
It's like,
maybe it was short notice, but I did.
Mike's like, I wasn't paying attention, but you didn't tell me. How does that work?
So to let everyone know,
message. If I don't pay attention, do you actually tell me?
No.
to let everyone know, this is the new regular day for and time for the Culture Crusade, and we pick this because I think we're not streaming or either near or over anyone else in the fellowship community. We were like at the same time.
What time's Adam's based AF Mondays?
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Maybe we went to. Sorry, Adam. We had to pick a day.
Tune in next week for a different day and time.
No. This is the one because look, competing with Tuesday Night Main Event was not working, and I like listening and watching Tuesday Night Main Event as well, and so that's what I want to catch.
Oh, I will say this. It put me on a time crunch for doing a video today, but I'm okay with that. That's fine. I can work with that.
Oh, it ended at 14 minutes ago. So, all right.
Okay.
Well, people can jump on over here after Base Mondays.
Hell yeah. Maybe Adam could come and join us one of these days. I like Adam. It's a good bloke. All right. So, guys, I think what we're going to segue to, and maybe we won't dwell too much on this, but still, I think this is one of the most significant achievements of mankind, right? You seen this?
Whoa. Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I thought you were going somewhere else. This was
back into it.
This is friggin' incredible,
dude. The rocket there was a failure too in the jet. You see the flames bursting out the side of it. There was a failure there, and that's what's impressive about this. There was a failure. Look at the bottom of it.
Yeah. Like right here. Here is where
right there.
A fire caught.
That was a failure. And it still did it. That is insane.
This is like with all the crap that's going on in the world, right? Where it really looks like as a society we're almost regressing and stuff like that. This is heartening to see that. Look, there are still areas where humanity is reaching new heights and still
legitimately reaching for the stars.
Yeah,
like actually reaching for the stars. That's fucking cool.
This is like generation defining stuff. This is achieving futuristic levels of sci-fi, reality here. Like the old school sci-fis. We're talking about, I think it was was it Buck Rogers or something like that? They had rocket ships, right? That would have like vertical landing, and that's how they would land, and that was like far off into the future stuff. We're here, we're there, we are there now, and
like Marvin the Martian.
Yeah, there's that as well. All right, the amount of work that went in to achieve this is mind-boggling, and holy crap, like Elon Musk, it's all credit to Elon Musk, and he is
Elon
a visionary.
Musk changed the world when he bought Twitter.
He did. Like, I mean,
well, yeah. The reason this is going so fast
is because the world. He just gave the world the ability to speak again.
The reason this is going so fast is because this is privatizing space travel.
Yes,
because NASA had the same freaking technology for 40 years. It's like, bro, what are you doing?
Yes. This is another thing I love. This is a monument to the glory of capitalism right here.
Imagine if the Elon Musk does get on the government efficiency board, and he's disregards all the cuts through all the red tape. It's like, okay, we're going to speed up the government so they can start getting these things out.
No, stop right there. Stop. No.
More efficiently.
No.
You gotta get those death squads out there.
I want my government doing nothing. I want my government to do so much nothing that I don't even know they exist anymore. I want
Elon Musk to go in there and fire 80% of the government.
Okay, cool.
Be good.
Let's do that.
Fire the dead weight. We'll pump them numbers up. But still, I don't want them doing things, right? I want less people in the government doing less things, please.
I want to fire all those people in the government, and then Elon Musk goes to Twitter and there's #learn-to-code.
Oh my God! I almost posted this the other day. I thought about this and I was like, I don't know. Nobody paid attention. I would be like, remember how everybody was telling all of the coal miners and the trade workers to learn the code? Maybe all these people losing their jobs to AI should learn to trade.
There was that one time where everyone was being fired up from being like a journalist. All the journalists were getting fired. It's like everyone was like, learn to code, and then everyone was getting banned off of Twitter for bullying.
I know. Oh, it's so good. Next time I see a journalist is like this, I'm just gonna be like, learn a trade.
Who's that really based South American guy that got voted in, and he is just like based as all hell?
Yeah, Millier.
Yeah. There's a great video of him just cutting the dead weight in his government, where he has all their
it's all working too.
Things, it's working great for him, but they had all their divisions and overhead stuff like that. And he goes like, oh, look at this, the diversity, equity, whatever advisory board, esfuela, and it's just going and throw it, and it's just taking an axe to everything, and it's glorious.
Yep. Tell you, Argentina might be a good place to invest right now.
Maybe.
And he's pro crypto. Bitcoin's at 66,000.
He is so based, and if Elon does that to the government, hell friggin' yeah.
This chops away all the dead weight of the government.
Exactly, right? Oh man,
inflation tanks. It goes back to we actually get value in the dollar again.
Oh my God! No, I don't think that they're. Never mind. I won't go down.
We can hope, but that
I'm not going to go down that road.
I just wish we would have something like that in Australia. We need to vote one nation in so bad. But I'm not sure that's going to happen. That's we have problems in Australia.
But first, at least the gender study department. I gave her to that, DEI, and all that stuff like that.
Yeah, I cut so much money. Weight. So this is just brilliant. And it's weird because Elon, I think it's bad for people to be treated like they're better than an average guy. I think it's not good for their emotional stability, and it usually, like, when people are praised too much, they can end up becoming douchebags and stuff, and it's hard for them to. You see that with celebrity mentality and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm almost hesitant to praise Elon to the level that I think he almost deserves, though, because I think the man is a visionary, right? He's going to go down in history as one of the greats just by what he's achieving. Like, look at this.
If he goes in and decides to do this whole, we're going to cut government efficiency thing, is he going to stop taking government grants to the tune of billions of dollars? or is he still going to take the? Never mind. Never mind.
I don't know the background for that.
No.
Here's the thing.
Because
people
he's
are not
efficient.
He's
Yes.
efficient. I know, right?
If anyone can do the right thing with a government grant, I think Elon Musk has shown that.
Yeah, I know. And it's not people are totally evil or totally good, but there's still shit that I don't like about people. But there's also amazing things that I do like this. Like,
Exactly.
yes, really love this. This is freaking awesome. I just wish a lot of it wasn't.
So,
there.
Yeah,
the thing-
Service makes a good point. The transhumanism crap I could do without.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I agree.
And look, I'm not saying it's perfect, but he is pushing humanity into the stars. Like we're gonna friggin' colonize Mars with him doing this. And this is not only a milestone for Mars, right? This is this is enabling the largest rocket into the upper atmosphere ever, which means delivering larger payloads, which means larger space stations, and enables far more potential for colonizing space, which includes the moon as well as Mars and stuff like that. And one of the limitations we've really run into with putting space stations up there to aid with any number of potential uses, right, is the limitation we have in getting those, stations.
You think we went to the moon, Shad?
Yeah, I do.
Hmm.
Look, you can actually send a laser to the moon.
No, you can't.
That
Have you done that?
hits. I haven't done it, but people,
Nah.
people have reported they have.
People
yeah,
have done that.
I haven't driven
No,
a
they
Lamborghini
haven't.
either, but
So-
I mean, I believe that people do.
I've driven a
Exactly.
Lamborghini.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, I believe that people do.
Do I need to get
Now
a
you know
telescope?
someone who
I've
actually
never
has.
been in
Right,
a castle either, but I believe that other people
Exactly.
have.
Do I need to get a telescope and look at the moon lander on the moon to confirm?
Yes.
Because there's people that have done it, Mike, and they
Yeah,
showed
you
in
say
video.
they have they?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not saying there wasn't a potential cover up, like where they filmed stuff, sideways, adjoining it, and broadcast that because there wasn't enough signal to send it back when they were up there. I'm open to possibilities like that, but I do think we went there at the moment, and I'm open to evidence and discussion. I'm not like this. Oh, what a heresy! Anyone, questioning?
I'm not saying it's heresy. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I have nothing against people who don't believe it, because there are some questions. I'm not saying there aren't. And that's why I think there's probably validity to the idea that they did film the landing, as a fake thing.
They're making a movie about making the fake film.
Exactly.
Because so many people have now seen all the evidence and yeah, there's no freaking way we went to the moon, that they're freaking covering up for the fact. It's the movie is disinformation.
Oh my God!
To try to
Somebody's
confuse us.
making a movie. It must be fact.
It's disinformation. It's not fact. It's disinformation.
You know what will confirm it, Mike? Elon is going to be going back to the moon when Starship is back up.
If Elon goes to the moon, I'll believe it.
Well, if he lands there and he takes a photo of the moon landing,
okay.
The people
it's
still
in
call it fake.
1969 with less processing power that I'm holding in my hand. Yeah, right.
Well, that's why it was it was a miracle of mankind.
Yeah, it was a miracle. We just happened to be in a space race, and we were getting beaten by Russia, so we needed a really good propaganda campaign to make America number one. Come on.
We sent a manhole into space
manhole?
before. Yeah. Do you not know about this?
A manhole?
A manhole. Not a small manhole, like a 2,000-pound, 4-inch thick chunk of steel that left the atmosphere at about Mach 197. You do not know this?
What do you know?
Really?
How did we watch a manhole in a
so it was okay, so basically what you do is you take a very, very large nuclear bomb and you put it in the ground about 500 feet down in a hole. And then you
shot a bullet in the
face. You put a crap ton of concrete under it, but to contain the blast, we're going to put a 2,000-pound manhole over the top of this thing. And then, and I quote, because it was scientifically interesting, we're going to put the highest speed camera that we had at the time, which was 1,000 frames a second, and we're going to record what happens after we detonate the nuke to see if we've actually stopped the nuke. And what happened is they caught the manhole in one frame. Out of which means that they can't actually calculate the fastest it was going, but they can calculate the lowest speed that the manhole would have had to have been going, and it was about Mach 197. The fat electrician. This guy's got it. Johnny Guillotine. The fat electrician tells it better. Dude, it is a wild story. Like, apparently, the Americans got really happy with nuclear testing in the 1950s. We totally beat the Russians into space with a man-made object, and it was a fucking hunk of steel that we just launched into space because science.
Hey, so in regards to the whole moon thing, I guess Elon will be able to confirm it when he lands there, and he can look for the flag and the moon lander and see if it's still up there. I'm open to either argument at the moment. I think we did. We'll find out, I guess, in the future.
I think the greatest thing Elon did was...
Hey, what's up, Yellow Flash?
Twitter has been a game changer, dude. Holy crap. The stuff that, is getting out that would have been suppressed if not for Twitter is massive.
Manhole cover moving at Mach Jesus.
Hey, let's catch up. Let's catch up on some of these super chats before we.
I'm with Service though, because I don't trust anything the government says or does, including school.
I know that's why I don't have my kids in government schools.
Yeah. Let me just refresh this and
nuclear happy hour.
It sure as hell don't trust NASA.
Yeah, I have very little trust of almost any government entity at the moment these days. Hey, Rolando A. Ramirez for $10 says, have you all heard of the game Metaphor? It seems to be a new victim of wokealizers. I have not heard of this. I've heard the game is great, but the English translation has the modern touch to it.
Metaphor ReFantazio?
I just saw something about that today for the first time.
That hasn't crossed my feed.
CRPG, turn-based style combat. Getting a lot of people are talking about. I have not heard about the English translators though.
Wouldn't friggin' surprise me, man.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
They strike again. Buddy Rapper for $5 says Buck Rogers in the 25th century, but in the 20th. Yeah, that's actually right. Like if you watch those. Did any of you guys ever watch Buck Rogers? Old school stuff. Yeah.
Aaron Gray was like one of my first crushes. Kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
I got to meet her at the con.
When I grew up, we had the Australian version of cable, which was a type of satellite TV, which got a lot of packaged channels from the US, and one of them was called TV1, which was repeats of old school stuff. And so that's how I got to watch the original A-Team, the original Mission Impossible, the original Buck Rogers. It was all on there. I guess old school classic stuff. Oh, Knight Rider. And so I got to watch
these when they were on primetime.
Yeah, well, I wasn't born then, Mike. We're not all weird, immortal, unaging entities.
I just like hanging out with you kids because you make me feel
well, I feel old because I got to watch all those things like in my childhood too, but it was thanks to those repeats, and some of those were classics, by the way. Like, I'm glad the original Mission Impossible, man. That's classic stuff. People like
that's before my time.
I see. It has Spock in it, man. It has Leonard Nimoy in it. And some of them is just really good stuff. Like, I'm glad I got cultured on some classic great TV that even was before my time, thanks to equivalent of cable.
Dude, I saw they had a movie, Battlestar Galactica 1984.
I think
it was actual in the movie theaters. I saw that
because I did watch the original series on TV1 as well. Battlestar Galactica.
I did too. Every week when it came out.
Classic stuff.
Mike, I love the fuck out of your American attitude right now. You're just like, yeah. I watched it when it came out because I live in America. Where do you live?
No, because I'm old.
So much
it's ancient. Yeah, no. It's watching because
this is how I like. I can guess people's age. I'm like, what's the earliest primetime TV show you can remember? Like, right when you're a kid, dude. I can remember watching Happy Days.
MASH. My dad was watching MASH.
Oh, here's the thing. Happy Days was on rerun in Australia.
I remember
Right,
watching
but I remember
watched
when it was prime time. That's how.
Yeah. Or
old
wait,
I
was
am.
it reruns of MASH at the time, or was it prime
It
time?
was,
No.
it was reruns, dude.
Remember,
'cause
Pete and
I
Pete?
remember the last episode of MASH
When?
coming out. It was in the early 80s.
Okay, I was gonna say 90s. Yeah, I was born in 91. So.
Hey, Yellow Flash. See what's happening when we do a better time? We got the fellowship showing up.
Yeah, Flash is busy today, but he can come up and later.
Yeah, Flash, you're welcome
Dude,
anytime, mate.
I love how Mike's over here. He's just be like, "Oh yeah, I watched all this stuff when it came out," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll work a phone better than you."
No, like for how ancient Mike is, he is surprisingly, adept in adapting to new technology.
Surprisingly
And stuff.
spry, that one.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's why it's hard to tell he is so old, because he's actually he is blending into the modern
Did
day.
you see
much
me do
better.
the wall push-ups, Shad?
He was.
Yeah, exactly.
He was
right?
blessed.
He's blessed with Asian genes, man.
I
That's
know,
what
dude.
it is.
He got that Asian blood in him, man.
Oriental.
No wonder they thought they were the master race.
Asians don't ever age until one
Japanese.
day, and then one day they age like that.
Yeah, exactly. They hit a time, and then suddenly they look like they're
but it's like 80. They look 30 until they're 80, and then after 80 they look 120, and it's like, whoa,
what happened?
My mom's 83.
Does she look 120?
No.
Okay.
She looks 60.
Oh wow, good for her.
Sometimes it just works out. See, I'm like aging early. I've got gray right going and stuff, but I'm embracing it as look. It's a sign of wisdom, and it makes me look sophisticated. That's what I tell myself anyway. I know it's cope, but I don't care.
My wife my wife is telling me she's waiting for me to start getting salt and pepper. I'm like, why? She's like, cause you're gonna be. I'm like, why? She goes, just cause, and she smiles, and I'm like, oh.
See, I got grays on the temples going.
Yeah, haven't yet. If I don't know if I age like my dad and my grandfathers did, I'm probably not gonna get any sort of gray until I'm in my 50s, and then it's gonna go overnight. It's gonna be I'm gonna have dark hair, and then and then the next day it's gonna be white. That's just how I'm gonna age.
Hey, next super chat. We are Harbinger for $5 says, "Can we fire 80% of all the governments?" ?
For the love of God, yes, please.
That probably would be a good idea. Yeah,
It'll be a great idea.
And then tell them to learn to code.
Oh my gosh. And then he says, "I don't see how it could possibly backfire with how poorly every government is running, barring some outliers." Like, I'm not sure I'm there yet, but I'm getting close. Where I wonder if society would be better without government.
Oh, she looks very good for her age.
Yeah, yeah, she does.
Wow. Very good for her age.
She's 80?
83.
80.
Jeez.
Oh, wait, what year is it? 84.
I mean, look,
What year is it?
Some of us white guys do it well. I think Trump carries his age pretty well.
Yeah, her one of her earliest memories was her village being her town in Tokyo being firebombed by the Americans.
Oh yeah, dude, that's full on.
That's wild.
Yeah, and her mom, she was only like 2, and she remembers it, and she's like, it's kind of a grim story because she's like telling her aunt, she's like,
that wouldn't be a grim
well, no,
story.
the grim part was she remembered being strapped to the back of her aunt, and she was talking to her aunt about this. She's, I remember going across the river and seeing all the logs in the river, and her aunt's like,
they weren't logs.
Oh,
not logs. Yeah.
Logs. Oof. World War II, man.
What the fuck?
It's a wild
blockbuster of wars.
But also,
stop reading the chat right now. I'm.
Okay, so thanks for pointing that out, Royce. Now everyone's reading it. Yeah, bastard.
Welcome to the internet, I guess.
Yeah, basically, that's one of those.
Oh my god! I just looked down at the wrong time.
So I'm almost at a point where I wonder if society would function just better without governments. Period.
Hold on, Biker Angelo, firebomb would not make a great name for a Japanese sake. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
Well, the government's main
mean-
existence is to like make everyone else look better.
I
in
mean, no,
comparison.
like the government's role should be to protect the country. Okay, protect any from foreign invasion, stuff like that. Oversee military and
overseas trade, then that's
Oversee-
about it. And that's
well,
about
look,
it.
I mean, I think there is an argument for certain infrastructures, that the government can try and, but I do wonder if like infrastructure projects can be handled on a more local scale better
Yes, they
than
can.
the government,
Of
right?
course.
We have
And so-
examples of
course.
this.
Yeah. Now, in terms of
I'll just give you. I mean, like, who's going to build the roads? So here in San Diego, when I moved here in 1993, they were already working on this. It was a 52 overpass, right? That went from the 5 to, anyways, miles and miles and miles. They literally didn't finish that thing until like, I don't know, 10 years ago, something like that. Like literally, they had been working on this thing for like 30 bloody years. Meanwhile, the 125 is a private toll road that they built. That thing was done in like 2 years. Like,
all right,
the
what
government
about when?
building
what
roads
about
is
when-
a bad idea?
Okay.
What about when?
Okay,
Because
before
without
we
the
turn
government,
into
it's all
Fox News.
corporations. No, but without the government, then the largest, most powerful institutions will be corporations that they get too big for their, boots and stuff like that. And I'm talking about free market capitalism. I'm talking about the
Yeah.
more, there's corruption inbred.
Well, yeah, it's
into a
called
lot of these
people. People are
corporations.
corrupt. The idea isn't to
Yeah.
have a perfect system. The idea is to have the most perfect system that we can, not necessarily the perfect system, right?
Well, you know what? An interesting thing about a system that is nearly, I wouldn't say flawless, but it works really, really well if you have the right leader.
Totalitarianism.
No, it's a monarch. It's a monarchy. A
Oh,
king.
fuck off with your fucking. I'm done. I just.
What? Well, I don't know where that went. What's the background for that, Mike? Why is
We
he
lost a lot of good people getting out of that monarchy that you guys are so comfortable with.
I'll
I'm
be
not
back. I just gotta
promoting.
pee. I needed an excuse.
Okay. Hang on. If you have a good king, a monarchy can be great. If you have a
Okay.
bad king, a monarchy can be.
Have you read the Bible,
nightmarish.
Chad?
Hey, you know who's the king of kings, Mike?
Right.
Mhm.
But have you read Kings in the Bible, the book of Kings?
It's been a while.
You got Josiah,
Josiah was good.
Ahab, maybe. There was like 3 good kings out of the entire
I know.
lineage of
The
kings.
problem is guaranteeing a good king. Yeah, that's the issue.
point.
But if you
can't
have
guarantee a good king,
a good king, it works really well. It's one
right?
of the
The
better
chances of having a good king are
It's
what
it's
we call
very-
slim to none.
Yeah, that's the issue. That's the flaw with it. But that's why I think Christ should be the king he will be the king.
There will be for 1,000
yes.
years. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be
I won't be
great.
here.
You might. Well, it depends.
No,
All
because
right.
it's the resurrection. It's theology.
Yeah, there's different interpretations on it, so I don't know what your doctrine says about the millennium versus
Rapture, millennial kingdom, and then resurrection. Resurrection is after the millennial kingdom. So there's 1,000 years where there are people who live here. The whole house of Israel is resurrected through the millennial reign, but the church is resurrected after the millennial reign.
See, that's similar to LDS doctrine, where we believe in stages in the resurrection. So the first resurrection will be when Christ actually appears in the sky, and everyone worthy of the first resurrection actually gets resurrected at that time. And there's actually scriptures in the Bible that talk about, the saints, coming out of their graves and stuff like that. There was even a number of people resurrected after Christ was resurrected and so we believe the first resurrection technically started at the resurrection of Christ, and certain select worthy people have been resurrected since. But the big one is going to happen when he comes again, and then that begins the millennium, and everyone who is not worthy of the first resurrection gets resurrected after the millennium. Is how we look at that. And so there's similarities. All right, we got another super chat. Let me just catch up. Actually, I don't even think we finished the super chat we were on. So let me grab that one. So We Are Harbinger says, don't see how it could possibly backfire with how poorly every government is run. Barring, I think we did grab that one. And then Buddy Rap, $5 says, just wait a minute. Mike mentions the disappearing car in the bomb testing footage. The moon landing footage is probably fake, but that's old news, he says. I don't know the reference to the disappearing car.
It sounds familiar. I think there's people that claim that we didn't actually do nuclear testing, which I don't buy at all. But I mean, Japanese. So,
Buddy Rabbit again for $5 says, Shad, the first Israelite king, literally dropped the ball. Saul, David, Solomon, they all continually fumbled. Lol. Look, I know I'm not saying it's a guarantee that a king would be good by any means. No, kings. But if you have a good king, it's probably the best system you could have. If that's the big if. Of course.
Josiah was the last good king of Israel.
Josiah was the man. My brother was named after Josiah.
My son is named Josiah.
Mm-hmm. I was named after Shadrach.
Is your name Shadrach?
No, it's Shad, but that's my namesake. So my dad wanted to name me Shadrach. My mum didn't like it because she thought it was too, and so they compromised and halved it, and that's where I get Shad from.
Yeah, I used to go to a church, and the pastor was black, and he'd call him Shadrach, Meshach, and one bad Negro.
Abednego.
Abednego, yeah, a bad Negro.
So we will be getting to the main topic, but I think we'll wait for Royce to get back. He's just taking a really long dump or something like that.
I know that guy and his bowels.
Taco Bell or something.
But while we're waiting, we have someone asking, "What's your opinions on Burger King?" Look, it's called Hungry Jack's,
right.
Yeah, and I like.
If
I
we
live
need
in
fillers,
the part of the United States that has Whataburgers, so it's Burger King's all right.
Hungry Jack's is Burger King in Australia, and it's pretty good. It's better than McDonald's over here. I'm not too crash hot. There's only a few things I like from McDonald's. I think McDonald's gets overhyped.
Eating Whataburger from in Texas is kind of like having your heart being smashed by a sledgehammer, so it's tasty.
What are you sharing there, Mike?
So I actually called you out in this thing because I was making redoing Boomerang, and I made these swords that are supposed to be boomerangs, and I was like, Shad, you should make these. They're called bladerangs.
It'd be really awesome if he was a boomer also, like boomerang.
Hang on, are they meant to return? They're shaped like
they're shaped like boomerangs, but they have handles.
Because if they're hunting boomerangs, they could actually be a legit type of weapon
that you could use as swords with. So you actually have a backstroke, so you can like backstab with the end. I
don't mind it. I do not mind.
Right? Hold on, let me get it. There you go.
Okay, I don't mind it actually.
Interesting.
Mike. There's potential there. There's potential.
Well, and handing the two-handed, if for some reason you got like knocked back on the ground, you could guard like this.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Batleth a little bit.
Oh yeah. I don't like the Batleth. This has more logic than the Batleth. I've done multiple videos on the Batleth. If you increase the handle length, to give a bit more room and control, and also options as to the weight and weight, because sometimes you want to choke something up, sometimes you want more leverage and stuff. I think there's potential there. I think their size
is. See you make it.
Maybe.
That would be sick.
I've done a video on the hunting boomerang, and they're actually more legit than the returning ones because they're the hunting tools, and they're shaped to create lift as you throw it, and so they're not going to fly perpetually, but as long as you can throw them 100 meters because they have they just continually try and lift as they keep spinning.
I heard they weren't originally designed to return. They were made so they're technically throwing sticks, and throwing sticks, they had them in Egypt. We found them in ancient America and also in old school Europe places and stuff like that. Throwing hunting sticks have been around for ages. They're not an Australian
humans
thing.
really love ranged weapons, is what you're telling me.
Stick very good. Once again,
stick.
We like stick.
All right, gentlemen, we're getting into the main event.
Dugga.
Dude, did you see that stick on Twitter?
Dude,
right?
dude.
Dude.
Oh, it's so good.
The sword stick?
Yeah,
dude, sword stick is amazing.
That thing was rad.
The first time I saw that, they were like, "Look at this stick." I was like, "This is not a stick." I was like, "This was the." I was like, "This was the sword handed down to you by the wizard, and now you have to go on the epic journey until your mom tells you it's dinner time." And then somebody messaged me, they're like, "And it sits by the front door until you're done with dinner." And I was like, "Yes."
This is how you know you're a dude, right? Because a chick would look at that and go, "Yep, that's a stick." And we're like, "That is not a stick.
That's a real stick.
That's the Dragon Slayer. It's not a stick.
Difference between men and women, right there, perfectly encapsulated. Mike is right. Take a 610 for $5 says, when does the son of Glug show up to get his revenge against Sauron? Season 4 or 5. My name is Glug Jr. You killed my father. Prepare to die. In case Glug got killed off by Sauron at the end. Glug was there. Look, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. Look. I'm glad Glug died. He was a pansy. He wasn't a real orc. He was I don't want to go to war, master. I need to protect my family after I murdered and genocided the Southlands and turned it into a hellscape, even though I'm sitting in as an allegory for immigration, master.
Okay.
Can you highlight the comment? Two comments above that.
2 comments above that. Yes, big stick energy.
Yeah.
Big stick energy.
Absolutely right. Thank you for the super chat. Take a 610. All right, gentlemen. Main event time. They're back. She's back. You know what I'm talking about? Sweet baby Ig. Well, this is the thing. They never went anywhere. They never really left, but Kim Belair, the CEO, is doing talks, and she's giving this.
Shut up.
Oh wow! We're gonna go through it. We're gonna react to it. See how long we can last with her TED talk kind of thing. And
you're subjecting me to this shit?
Yes, we're doing it.
No, I've avoided this crap intentionally. Okay.
Look, might be rough. We'll see how.
I'm gonna lose my ever-loving mind. Dude, I'm gonna. Why?
We'll get a something.
Look. Yeah, this will be rough. Okay. I actually it triggers a lot of comments and things for me that I want to comment on. I guess I want to talk about because there are so many layers to all of this, and I do want to try and approach it in as good faith as possible, try and understand things from their perspective. But even doing that, you see where they're going so wrong. Ultimately, what were you about to say, Rose?
Oh, just Yellow Flash. Talk about Dragon Ball Daima instead. I haven't seen it yet.
Or Dragon Ball Z in general. I've seen Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z. I mean, dude, my favorite character is over here. My wife got that custom done for me.
So my kids saw it. We went on Crunchyroll and the new Dragon Ball stuff is on there. And they're like, can we watch that? I'm like, you haven't even watched Dragon Ball Z. I've got the whole thing on DVD. You need to watch this before you get to that. You can watch it anytime.
You got to watch Dragon Ball. With Bulma and her the pantyless scene with Master Roshi and
the thing is though, the kids want to get up to the epic fights, the big Kamehamehas and the stuff like that. And that really kicks off in Dragon Ball.
Unironically is what turned my wife on to Dragon Ball. I remember we're going to the gun range one day and I'm trying to keep the kids quiet. So I have Dragon Ball Super, which I'd already seen, and it's the Tournament of Power. And it's the episode where Goku charges up the Kamehameha and rides up the Kefla wave. And he uses the Kamehameha energy ball to ride up the wave. And my wife is watching this on my phone as intently as the kids are. And she's like, what? She's like, this is Dragon Ball? I'm like, yes. And she goes, so she goes through, watches all of it, everything, except for GT. I don't think she watched GT, which is fine, whatever. But she watches all of it. Now she has 10 different Dragon Ball shirts, Dragon Ball Z socks. She is totally hooked. And she's like, I didn't know. I'm like, I tried to tell you. To tell you.
Yellow Flash, you're right. Dragon Ball has epic fights. The Saiyan arc is awesome. I guess that's why, because my entry into Dragon Ball was Z.
With Z, yeah.
And also, I'm not sure. I might own Dragon Ball. I need to look into my anime DVDs. I know I've got all of Dragon Ball Z.
I still think the best fight is Gohan versus Cell. Gohan versus Perfect Cell. and he's not even my favorite character. I like Vegeta and Trunks are my favorite characters, but the best fight. No, take that back. If we count the movies, if we count
the best song,
oh man,
he does.
Goku versus Frieza when he first goes Super
was-
Saiyan. That is such a legendary.
It is. If we count the movies, though, I would say I still got to give it to Gohan, dude. BoJack Unbound. BoJack
Gohan
Unbound.
punished out Hitler in the movies.
He did, I think. Yeah. Yeah. No. It was. Yeah.
All right, Royce, stop trying to distract us with talking about fun things.
That
We
was
need to
Yellow
talk
Flash.
about.
It wasn't
I have
him.
a
I'm blaming you anyway.
Did that. Blame him.
I don't care. I'm blaming you because it's always your fault in one way or another, Royce.
Can I talk about my stick?
You have a
Stick.
pretty cool stick.
That's a
My
cool
son, mostly my son, but my son and I turned this stick. This was a shoot from our fig tree, and we turned it
pretty
into
veiny.
a bow. This is like a 35-pound draw bow.
That's legit.
It's cool that it's a bow. 35-pound is weak. I'm just saying.
Well, it's a fig tree,
It's from
Okay.
not exactly hardwood.
It's cool that it's a bow. I love bows. Be a man and shoot 100-pound, baby. Get into that.
Oh my
Oh.
kid!
War bows are friggin' great, man. They have such like power and kick to them. You feel it. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he's 15.
All
And
right,
still
start-
can't do a 100-pound bow. Come on.
Yeah, start him. All right. Start him with a 70-pound.
Yeah, it's not like
70
horse
pounds.
archers. It's not like horse archers were so beefed up in their draw shoulders that when they dug up their skeletons, their bone structure
were
was
English-
modified from the weight.
That was
The English bowman did. That was the English
that was
bowman.
English longbowmen, Royce.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their bones are like all deformed.
yeah, fuck it. A 15-year-old can do it too. It's fine.
Sure.
A
Well,
15-year-old
Start
from
off with 120
California,
pounds,
modern
then
day
you can go down to
California,
100.
they can do it. It's fine.
We're constantly getting distracted by cool topics. The thing about the bones being dug up, they're only deformed because they started shooting at such a young age. I know a lot about this because of other reasons. I know, but if you start shooting heavy longbow after your bones are fused and you're fully grown, you don't get the deformation. You only
How
get
about the
deformation.
Scythians? How good are archers with the Scythians?
Shut up! I was getting distracted.
What if Antifa started shooting a 100-pound bow? Would they actually be able to shoot it, or their arms snap in half like twigs?
What do you
I
mean?
think
If they hadn't trained
but
for it, they wouldn't be able to pull it.
Antifa had like the Antifa guys, like this soy boy skinny,
But
with their arms snapping
Dude,
too.
funny enough, this elbow is so jacked up from injuries back in the day. Last time I tried to draw my brother's 65-pound compound bow, and the bone almost popped out on my elbow because I've jacked this thing up so many times. It won't. I actually
Jacked
can't
off
draw.
so many times.
Well, that
Dude.
100-pound bow would kill you then, man.
Oh, dude, no, it's really fun when this bone pops out to here. Oh, it feels wonderful.
I'm
Jack
sure
off.
it is. All right,
It's
gentlemen, we have to
It
get
feels
back to the
slimy
topic.
when you slide it back into joint. It's weird.
Sweet baby ink. So the CEO Kim Belair has a bit of a struggle session talk, and ultimately this whole conversation that she's giving, right, is cope, and
Oh.
also playing the victim.
It's 20 minutes.
Wow,
it's
20
20
minutes of
You're
coke.
gonna oh my
Jeez.
god.
So
I
bad.
look, we might not get through it all.
I don't
'Cause
have
I've-
enough beer for this.
Front loaded. I already
we
have
have
things
rum.
to say right at the very beginning.
Look, we're starting 8 seconds in. It's not that bad.
I should try to get drunk. This is bad.
Let's do it.
Hello, I'm Kim
Hello.
Blair. In my circles, I'm largely considered, I think, a relatively nice person. These are my dogs. Stay.
Okay.
In my circles,
I
my
already
dogs
have
think I'm a nice person.
already have things to say. I already have things to say.
Here's the thing, though. Like, who cares if you're nice? Like, that all SJWs are nice if you speak to them
well,
face to face.
This
They all
is the
act nice to
discussion.
you.
What does nice mean? Let's talk about this
It means
already.
vaguely polite and cordial. Like when you
Really?
see someone on the street, the SJWs are usually
Are
like
you
that,
going
like
with the
face-to-face.
wait? Are you
Is she
talking
polite?
original?
What if
or
they were wearing a
original
MAGA?
definition?
We're
or
yelling.
colloquial?
We're
are.
yelling.
We yelling.
Usually, because SJWs tend to be cowards, so they're really brave behind a keyboard. They're really brave when they're in a position of authority.
This is true.
But if you walk up to them like in the street or something like that, they will just go, "Oh, hi, how you doing?" They
Oh,
won't-
no,
they will
no.
just just retreat immediately.
Here's the
Most
problem. If you are
That's
slightly related to them or possibly in like a friend group they are not cordial at all, dude. I've met some people that just you will watch them go from nice to just demons in seconds. It's
If you actually
Bear in mind,
they don't have
this-
friends; they have allies. So
This is the woman who literally said that if gaming companies don't adopt, certain woke, propaganda, stuff like that, she said, go speak to your human resource
go speak to your marketing directors
and terrify
the
them
marketing directors about
of what
will
would
happen
if you don't get on board with this propaganda and ideology. That does not seem like something a nice person would do. Like
a nice business got here. Shame if something happened to her.
She is promoting, like threatening, people.
I think she's confusing nice with cordial.
What's that? I think that there's a term for that. It's called extortion.
Extortion, yes.
It's kind of like when you're a Christian or Catholic on Twitter and you do something where you point something out where it's not very nice. They go, "You're not acting like Jesus would." you mean the guy who flipped over tables? Like, get out of here with a tax.
Here's my response.
Have you read Revelation?
I'm not Jesus. I don't know if you know this.
Like just, that's what you said. Being vaguely nice to each other, not just vaguely nice. That's what the Christian way is. That's not really what it is, actually.
That's not in the Bible. Actually, be nice. That's
well, there's a difference between niceness and being kind.
Thank you.
People don't understand the distinction. Where sometimes, you ever heard the saying, you got to be cruel to be kind? Where, like for instance, accepting people's delusions that they think they are whatever that they identify with, I don't think is kind. I think
nice.
It's nice, that makes them feel good.
We're not called to be nice.
But sometimes you have to stand up for what is true, which people think is mean and cruel. And they say, especially they're like, oh, you're not acting the way Jesus would. It's like, did you hear what Jesus said to the scribes and Pharisees, right? With the crap that they tried to pull, he was calling them hypocrites, and he would dig into people when they deserved it, right? And he was always
Shad, we don't use verses of the Bible in context. Stop with that pish posh.
Right? So the world misunderstands niceness and kindness. Now, kindness is an important virtue that I think I could try and do better with. That's something that is a lifelong thing, to always try and be more Christ-like. And my difficulty is when I see people acting like clearly dishonest, especially in a malicious way, just gets me angry.
Remember Christ called out the woman at the well? She's like, yeah, that's not your husband you're living with. You've been married 5 times. It's like, that wasn't very nice, Jesus.
Wait, was that biblical speak for you a hoe?
Hey, my man Judas, you're gonna betray me. You're the one that's gonna do it.
I need the Bible. I just for fun. I need the Bible translation, but like I need it retranslated into everything that you would find on Urban Dictionary. Let's just do the Urban. Oh my God, is there an Urban Dictionary?
Urban Dictionary Bible.
I need Urban Dictionary Bible. I need this in my life, Mike. Where is it? I need.
Look it up.
Because it's on topic.
The website it's going to take me to.
Let's get these super chats. Justin T for 10 Canadian dollars says, regarding DEI Bridge, look into the VTuber Kirsha. Yeah, Kirsha, I'm familiar with her, work on Bridge and everything like that. She spent the last year investigating this, has done extensive research and has the receipts. She's the go-to source for info on this cancer. Yeah, she's done great work on Bridge, and Bridge is basically DEI repackaged to try and be integrated seamlessly as just a cultural thing in workforces and stuff like that.
No, it's integrated. It's integrated into the policies and procedures of the company. Actually, it's not a cultural thing. It's actually integrated.
But that's what I mean. If the general culture of the company, they want to be DEI.
But they integrated into. They actually integrated into safety policy, conduct policy. They integrated into business policy. It's actually at the roots. They're trying to install it at the roots of how the company operates, whereas DEI used to just be one section of like HR and all that. But no, now they're actually trying with Bridge, they're actually trying to install it into every aspect of the company at the policy level overall of the
way you combat it is the way that we combat the whole thing is if a company is trying to push this stuff, boycott them. Don't even have a bar to do with them, and they will fail spectacularly. And even if they're trying to hide it, like Sweet Baby Inc., they're trying to hide who they're working with now. They've taken like, down their website of who they're, what cover. But the thing is though, it's very easy to detect where they are located. Does the women have a big chin and manly jawline? That's the first kind of thing. It's very easy to detect their.
I don't understand how
fingerprints.
they get involved with so many game companies.
Dude,
I can't wrap my head around it.
Well, extortion. You wouldn't want to be called racist, will you? As well as basically, I feel they
I don't
lie
give a shit
about their
being called
credibility.
racist. I don't
Well,
care
they
about
threat. It's through threats, implications, and false credibility. We're like, we are experts to help you navigate the dangers of the online world. And it's wolves in sheep's clothing, because then they make it worse for these companies. And also ESG. ESG is like, if you want the funding, you need to make sure that you're on board with all these things. And look, there's a consultancy company over there that will help you tick the right check boxes. They'll tell you what to do, basically. But they've infested themselves in so much. We Are Harboring $5 says, a lot of modern Christianity lacks teeth, which makes me sad. An atheist, disappointed in them. Seeing them fold during COVID made me sad. Okay. Look, I actually agree. I think there is a lot of parts of Christianity that lacks teeth, but also parts that don't. Okay. And we certainly here stand up for Christian values unapologetically as well, mind you. And then what's interesting, right? There's no maliciousness in anything I say where I stand up for my beliefs. All right. I'm not trying to attack anyone. All right. I'm standing up for what I believe is true and will be best for people in their lives. But that is mean to people. All right. How dare you not acknowledge their truth? All right. How dare you not validate their emotions and stuff like that? And that makes you a horrible, bigoted, racist, misogynist piece of
Speak
crap.
your truth. Remember
I
that song
can't.
from the first Rings of Power trailer?
Yep. I remember. I did a video on that.
Speak your truth.
Gosh. Right. And that's their gauge on being a decent person. Not if you actually would help someone in need. Like you see someone struggling with something and you'll pull over and help them out. Or if you, give to charity or anything like that. Right. That's not how they gauge goodness and decency. They gauge goodness and decency based on if you validate a person's entire lived experience. And if you don't validate even a thing, you are denying their identity, which makes you a piece of junk. Bear in mind that they deny the identity of many Christian people all the friggin' time. All right.
Feelings before life, even.
Well, it comes off as complete hypocrisy because there are certain things that I will not acknowledge based on my identity as a Latter-day Satan Christian. Okay. And so because I will not identify with what they believe, because that means actually making a concession on my fundamental beliefs, right? That makes me a bad person. But that's the thing. They are trying to force me to concede something on my identity, right? For the sake of validating their identity. And it's like, no, you don't get to do that. That's not how that works. All right. If you want to value people's identity and their lived experience, you should value Christians' identity and lived experience. But they will piss on that all the time. All right. Because they're offended by Christian beliefs. Buddy Rabbit for $2 says, someone wellness check her dogs. Because she shows her
Considering
dog.
that these type of people actually love animals more than they love people, I would imagine that the dogs are okay.
What's also really interesting about this whole thing is that we know what the women look like in these scenarios where they make all the women no boobs, narrow hips, like man shoulders and things. And then when we say, hey, how about more feminine women, we get called porn addicts and misogynists. And why are you crying? This is what you're crying. They turn on us and say, we're crying about this and crying about that. But the only reason the changes are being made is because they cried about it in the first place. And they have even less meaning to, less right to, because they weren't even fans of these things in the first place. But yet they elbowed their way in and started complaining. And now we're the bad guys for saying, hey, how about we go back to the way it was before, where the women were feminine? And no, it's they can complain about something they're not even fans of, to the point where they're pushing people into changing entire things to drive fans away. But when we say, how about more feminine women, we're the porn addicts.
Isn't that crazy?
It's a war on beauty.
I know, but like, wouldn't that be the feminist standard to try and defend femininity?
Feminism, it's like fourth or fifth wave feminism.
I know, fourth or fifth wave feminism actually hates femininity, and they want to turn women into men.
Captain Hagbard, Celine, it's just Marxism. It is. It is.
Yeah,
it's just
cultural
Marxism.
Marxism.
Yeah.
No, it's exactly what. That's why. yeah, that never mind.
See,
I'm
Marx
not gonna go down that
was
road.
about class and about income and stuff, but cultural Marxism is
Well,
it's
this
an
is
attack on any level of hierarchy.
And
You know,
and it's more about
yeah.
beauty
I mean, it
standards
still
are
comes
a
down to
level of
money. Like,
hierarchy.
let's not fucking bullshit ourselves here. It still comes down to money. But the difference is that Marx argued that he was poor
power.
because rich people kept him poor. These people
Right,
are
but that's the
arguing
thing.
that
That's why Marxism
but
doesn't
this-
work in America.
But I know why it doesn't work. What their argument is, they're poor because rich people hate them because of some pick a fucking characteristic. That's why they came up with 75,000 different genders, because
But
they
not
had to
just
find a
poor.
way to be special, so that way they could try to guilt trip the system into giving them money and putting value on them. And the fact of the matter is, I don't know if you guys know this, you are not valuable until you create value for the system, right? Now, you might be able to be valuable for your wife because you create value for her. You might be valuable to your kids because you create value to them. Now, your parents, if they're really loving, even if you're a fuck up, your parents might still value you. Although I will say this, I know some people who have absolutely screwed up enough in their lives that their parents are like, you know what, wash my hands of that. Your value is on your shoulders. Okay, it has nothing to do with society, it has everything to do with you as a person. If you have to go to somebody and say, well, I'm valuable because of this character, no, you're not. You're not valuable with the dog shit in the yard. You know what you should do is you go out and prove that you are and make society a better place in order to achieve this so-called value that you so desperately want.
Now, I have a couple of things to actually kind of jump off what you were saying there. Good rant there, Royce. I appreciate your words. When you were saying, like, you know, Marxism was blaming rich people for, you know, like their issues and stuff like that, and this cultural kind of Marxism, you know, just kind of substitutes that with blaming things on immutable characteristics, either their race, their gender, their sexual orientation, stuff like that, that they are oppressed. And it's not just they're poor; they feel that they are oppressed because of those characteristics inherently, and therefore they deserve affirmative action or any number of redress for the injustice in their society, and they don't take control of their lives and actually realize that maybe some of the negative things in your life are a result of your own choices. And even, look, I'll even go far and give a bone that I know that there's sometimes people's circumstances in lives might be outside of their choices, a result of other things. They're the ones that have the power to change that. You can't rely on the external world and people to do anything for you. Okay, you need to take control of your own life and succeed because there is enough opportunity in that to succeed in that way. And then in another thing to what you're saying about like value, okay, I think there should be a distinction between like marketplace value versus
That was
yeah, and I think that's where you were going with it.
That was more what I was referring to.
Exactly. Yeah. Versus the just normal decency. Everyone, I think, should be given as a child of God. Okay, a sovereign individual. I think,
but that's why I didn't bring up that. That's why I didn't bring up the God factor in what I said. Is because we are all valuable as children of God. But that's why I specifically, and what I was saying, I left that out of it because in their minds they don't factor that in. So you know what? If they're not going to factor that in for the argument, then I'll take that out and I will argue their points at their level.
Well, here's the difference, right? Because I will try and be kind and treat everyone with a certain level of value based on them just being a child of God, and I'm trying to be a good person and so on. But as soon as they start demanding my money because of XY reason, and then they say you don't value me because you're not giving me the handout I'm demanding, I'm like, hang on a second, no. I will judge the need that I feel you deserve based on what I can judge and perceive for my own thing, and the common decency you deserve as a human being, which I think every human being deserves common decency, right? Doesn't extend to taking my stuff, okay, or discriminating against me based on my identity or anything like that. No. There's a line there. And so, yeah, like people, especially this ideology, they want to extend common decency means agreeing with us no matter what, and affirmative action and admitting your your subconscious bigotry or any number of things like that, and you are not a decent person unless you do that. It's like no. Actual common decency is treating someone with charity when they're truly in need, okay, treating someone with kindness, which doesn't mean niceness. Okay.
And kindness in this regard is like if you know somebody who is
How this
a
all
drug
started.
addict.
I said,
Yeah, if you know kindness in this regard,
Being
let's
nice
do it
isn't
very
in the
much.
Bible.
If you know somebody who's a drug addict, you don't tell them that the way that they're living is good. That's not being kind. To be kind is to say, you need to stop doing the drugs. They're bad for you.
This is what I mean, Yellow Flash. It's like, this was just the first comment, and we're not going to get through the whole thing. But like, maybe we'll have to take it in stages every stream, because it's a springboard to important
how about we try to do
conversations.
2 minutes? We watch 2 minutes of it, and then we hold it all in and let it, and then we pause.
Yeah.
And then.
But that's what I mean. Even from the beginning, just this whole, like, I'm a nice person. It's like, wait. There is so much to unpack with that, right?
I've never
It's
made that claim myself.
Well,
No,
the goal should be, are you a kind person? And also,
try to be.
I'm so intrigued by what her measure of niceness is, because this is what she shows.
In my circles, I'm largely considered, I think, a relatively nice person. These are my
Like, this is what qualifies her as a nice person. I'm like, I'm sorry, if you are promoting extortion.
Oh shit, she's got a baboon skull.
Right?
Sorry, my wife has actually had one of those before.
Now, I'm not saying that she
But
might not be cordial in a
She has it.
conversation.
That's just a JPEG of one on the
Right,
wall.
right.
No,
Yeah,
she
look,
actually, I've seen some pictures of her with like her bone collection behind her. She's got a pretty cool.
Oh, really?
She's got a pretty cool
you mean
collection.
She owns one.
No, I've
I
got
must
a
be being
giraffe.
really racist for a second.
Oh shit! No, like I'm being dead serious. Like I've got a giraffe skull
I got
upstairs.
the measuring tools.
I could text my wife and be like, "Hey, babe, you want to?" Sorry.
Going back. Yes,
totally
going back.
different hobby. My bad, brain.
Okay.
Yeet.
And
My
in
bad.
terms of niceness, I have to wonder, how nice is she to people who might be wearing a MAGA?
We literally didn't get any further in the video, Shad.
We did. I know. But
Hey, this is where we stopped.
and also
16 seconds.
She just said it again, and you stopped the video.
I know, because there's so much to unpack. I haven't
Mueller, we're coming for your EFAP record.
Basically, exactly. We will. We can take that, right? We would judge her actions as to how decent a person she is, like, more than what she says. And I'm sorry if I don't take what she says as face value here. Like,
You never should.
My dogs, Sage and Flaky. These are my cats.
Yeah.
I collect skulls, and
She's got
by
dogs and-
day, I
Okay,
like
sweet.
playing a lot of video games, including Elden Ring. By day, I am the crazed CEO of Sweet Baby Inc., the DEI-obsessed censorship mafia who is currently ruining and wokeifying all of the video games. that
She's
you've
honest
ever
about it.
Admits it.
That
No
wasn't
lies
honesty. No, keep
detected.
going. Wait. Context needed. Keep going.
Okay.
Just
So
seriously.
far-
So hold on. No.
Yep. So far, no lies detected.
That
See?
was
the
a lie.
crowd
No, wait.
is
Cheer.
excited.
But
They
They
want-
cheer that.
but
They
right,
think
hold
that's a
on.
good thing.
But here's just keep. There was a lie detected in that in how her vocal tone was. Her vocal
Yes.
tone was saying, "This is what they call me." She was obviously saying
Proud of
that
it.
sarcastically.
saying
In
it
that
proudly.
now, maybe she is. That's why I want to say keep going because I want to see the context of this.
Okay. Well, but first, let's quickly grab some of the super chats.
Oh yeah, do that thing.
You mean the super chat thing?
I don't know.
Like,
Yeah,
we are
that thing.
Harbinger for $5 says, we need realistic depictions of women equals no curves. Masculine, realistic men are apparently either he-man or effeminate men, both weaker than women. They
I just
don't
want
know
more-
what a real woman is.
I just want more big titty goth girl representation in video games.
Hey, there might be one in comic books coming soon. Anyway, and you know what I'm referring to, right?
Huge packs of land.
There was a lot of plot there. We are Harbinger
lot
for
of
$10
plot.
says,
Two plots.
Regarding Royce's rant, he's right, but people are told they have inherent value. They're not men, and they're usually not of European descent. Narcissism runs wild. Everything gets worse. We all lose. And as I was kind of, saying after, like, I do think every, human being has value, right? But in terms of a marketplace, that's a different thing. If you want someone person's hard-earned dollar, you need to earn it. You're not going to get that for free. And in that sense, no, you need to earn the value, create the value.
Yeah.
You don't deserve it just because of your identity or who you are. So thank you for those super chats. We are harbinger. All right, so I don't think she actually gives much more context. She gets cheered. They cheer her for this, right? And she's trying to say she's
in a room of her peers. Yeah, of course they cheer.
Yeah,
for
and
her.
she's trying to say this in a sarcastic tone when it's like that's kind of what you are. Like, do you deny any of what you're saying here? Yeah.
Of Sweet Baby Inc., the DEI-obsessed censorship mafia who is currently ruining and wokeifying all of the video games that you've
Yes, she's ruining and wokeifying me, like trying to, it seems like.
I don't think she's doing it. I think that the people who are hiring her are. There's stages here, but yeah, never mind. Jeez.
Thank you.
She seems happy with it.
Thank you. It's hard work.
You know, the tone here is that this is a type of gaslighting. She's trying to say, this is all ridiculous. Well, like
it's what they always do. They get caught and like, yeah, I'm the boogeyman. They call me the boogeyman. I'm just wokeifying the entire thing. It's what Kamala Harris does. Like she always says, how about this whole thing about you doing this horrible thing? Oh, what a silly thing to say.
But she's playing this off as this is a tactic that I've seen, and it actually, sadly, it works really well. She's playing it off as it's hyperbole, right? It's this hyperbolic. People are just blowing out of proportion what her actual job is, and it's this, and that's how she's playing it off. She's playing it off as this, as it's so much bigger than this actual thing that she's actually doing, and that's why it's working with this crowd, and two, anybody who actually sees this video, why it would work very well there, because they go, oh yeah, it's just the stupid people on Twitter that are just blowing it out of proportion.
If she was saying it non-sarcastically or non-ironically, even if she was saying it, don't you think if the crowd actually disagreed, they would boo? But like,
well, of course
they
the
agree.
crowd doesn't.
Like if Trump got up there and started saying all this negative stuff other people were saying about him, they wouldn't cheer the negative stuff they were saying about him.
Yeah. 100%.
No,
because they want to wokeify everything, and so she's trying to say in the tone like, Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't have the power to wokeify these whole games. It's like, yeah, the companies need to agree with you, but your company is the infestation that is helping push it in that direction. Okay?
Well, it's part of it, yeah.
Absolutely contributing to this.
If you haven't heard of Sweet Baby Inc., thank you.
Well, we've heard, but the thing is, though, they didn't want anyone to hear about it, and she admits that she wanted to stay in the shadows.
That's actually how I prefer it.
There it is.
But if you have, it's either because of the over 80
amazing games.
Send me this video, please, Shad. I need to share this.
Which one of those are the amazing game? I mean, people like God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah, send me this video, please, because I need to send this.
But everything
this
else,
to some other
Alan Wake 2, wasn't that a disaster for the fans? And then
Spider-Man 2, but all of these games are games that I've been telling my friends, like, hey, this is in there, and again, my buddies are fairly apolitical. They will agree. They do agree with me in politics a lot, but a lot of times they look at me and they go, Royce, you're kind of reaching. I would really love to send this to them to be like, I'm not reaching, because there are games on this list here that I've mentioned, and they're like, I didn't see any of that stuff in there, and I can be like, okay, here's how I know.
Spider-Man 2 is the one with the big gay flag in it, right?
No, that was
they did more with Spider-Man 2. No, it has the trans flag in it. They also
yeah, I thought that was
basically the aim is to substitute Spider-Man with Miles Morales. They also had like they made Mary Jane look like a dude. They had there's like entire missions where you play as Mary Jane, and it's ridiculous. And there's like a mission where you have to get this one kid to go to prom with another, like it's a gay guy going to prom with another gay guy, and they lock the camera on, and stuff like that on their kiss, I think. Might be, but anyway, them completing the mission, stuff like that. There's a lot of forced woke stuff in Spider-Man 2. And I'm not saying you can't have gay characters in it.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
saying integrate it properly. Don't make it forced. What?
Are they going to do another slide?
Maybe. We'll see. But the thing is that I want to talk about here.
But it would be interesting to me because I don't see Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
but again, because it was a massive failure, right? Most of the God of War Ragnarok and Spider-Man 2 were both fairly critically acclaimed. Alan Wake 2 was still successful enough for its small audience. These other games I've never heard of, but I don't see the big ones that they wouldn't want to attach their name to.
Yeah, I think
that's
the omission of Suicide Squad seems very intentional, and the other games that they have had a hand in that.
That's why I'm wondering if there's another slide. Are they going to own up to that?
We'll see. But before we go to the other slide, I want to talk about how she prefers that people don't know.
Wait, did they help out with Concord?
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
I wouldn't put it past them. I don't know, but I wouldn't.
No, well, see, here's the thing.
Oh, you can look it up. Go to Sweet Baby Detective.
There's more, but here's the thing. It's not Sweet Baby Inc. is just the most popular one that we know about. There are actually multiple companies. Alan Wake 2 did not make money. Okay, I thought it was. I wasn't sure. I didn't play it. I've only heard very little about it. Most of these games actually don't make a lot of money because of the ridiculously bloated budgets. But one of the things that's interesting is if I remember correctly, there are about 4 or 5 other companies outside of Sweet Baby Inc. that do this exact same thing, that are hired for the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And that's the problem is we don't talk about those companies.
I don't
think we know those names. Do we know the names of those?
You don't need to know their names. All you need to do is see the product. Like the red flags are there.
Well,
right? Have you seen that meme where there's the Indians hunting and they're like, "Oh, Western game devs have been there. How can you tell? Ugly women." Right? But you can tell who this woke propaganda.
Here's where this is helpful. Okay. And I actually talked about it in my video that I did today. Most of my friends are fairly apolitical. Yes, they know about politics. A lot of them actually agree with me in how I vote and all that. But when it comes to gaming, they're not politically, they're not charged the way that we are. And so when I say, do we know the names of these companies? And you say, it doesn't matter. Yes, it does. And it matters because when I'm talking with my friends, they go, oh, really, Royce? Where can I find this? And I go, here. And every time they search it, they find exactly what I'm talking about. They go, oh, crap, you're right. It's not to convince people who are in our sphere. That's fucking retarded. It is to gather as much information to convince the normies out there that this is what's happening. And they're not going to listen to you say, I saw it on Twitter. I need the websites. I need the names. And it is to send to people who are not politically initiated. So when you say, hey, this is going on, and they go, really, dude, where's your proof? And it's like, here are the companies admitting to it. I highly disagree, Shad. You absolutely need the names of these companies. And we need to know, because I'm not trying to reach people who are in our sphere. I can give a fuck about that. They already care about the same shit that I do. They're not going to know it any more than I do. We need to spread this message beyond beyond just our circle on the internet. And that's why I would love to, if anybody has these names,
dude, you go to Sweet Baby Inc. Detected or deidetected.com.
And they
has done that. He's curated all of this.
And he has the other names of the other companies.
Not the other companies. The thing is, though,
I don't know.
The tide will turn, Royce. The tide will turn, even if you don't know the names of the other companies, because most of what these activist consulting companies touch turns to crap. Like as Trump said, everything wokes turns, and it's very easy to tell
now
on the.
Convince somebody who's not politically initiated of anything that you just said, right? Because I've tried it and it doesn't work.
Okay. You just point to how bad it is, and then he's like,
"But it doesn't matter." But that doesn't matter.
You know what will convince him, Royce? You know what will convince him generally is the constant barrage
sending
of
them
slop.
The links that I have sent them.
No, not necessarily that. The barrage of slop. Normies are waking up because they're constantly getting crap media, and that's turning the tide.
Dude, I'm telling you, I talk with a lot of people, and unless you send them the links and go, oh, wow, because I've talked with fairly reasonable people, but anytime you touch politics with it, they just back off. They go, nope, I think politics. But again, if you can have the links and send it to people, this has been my experience with the people that I've done it with. I'm not telling you.
We're getting a little off the rails with the point I want to make. But the thing that does it, look up deidetected.com, because Kabruta started with Sweet Baby and now is trying to do anyone who's on board with this woke crap. and so is trying to make a curated list of any company that's on board doing the exact thing that you want, right? It's not just Sweet Baby, it's any consultancy company, anyone who adopts DEI initiative or Bridge initiative or any type of this woke crap, that people are trying to make those lists, so that is there and you can find them, and it's deidetected.com. That Nobody Guy for $10 says, I loved your book, Shad. The word, tech, and power system is also there. Thank you, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Please do a sequel because Dalen's journey isn't done. Thanks for recommending the Stormlight Archives and Mistborn. They're so good. Hell yes, dude. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, man. Glad you enjoyed Shadow the Conqueror. And Rolando A. Ramirez for $5 says, God of War is the only game that I know made money. They sold 15 million on a 200 mil budget. And I've heard that there are some questionable things, but mostly it's a good game overall. So that's kind of my understanding. But a lot of what Sweet Baby touched goes to crap, right? And they're hiding that here. And again, just kind of going on that point, and it is related to what you were saying, Royce, about they want to be hidden because they know how disliked this crap is. And so they want to sneak it in under the radar. And the way that that combat, when they're really trying to hide it, is people need to, I guess, pay attention to reviews, pay attention to people calling this stuff out, because I wouldn't watch nearly half the crap I do on Night's Watch if I wasn't on watch trying to find this crap and calling it out, right? So I stay on watch so other people don't necessarily have to watch this crap and they can be informed if it's good or bad or subversive or woke or anything like that. And so people can try and avoid or combat their sneakiness and trying to sneak this stuff in by listening to people who are watching for it. Buddy Rap for $10 says, Ragnarok is a critically acclaimed mechanically superior to the other God of War games. The normies aren't seeing it, Shad. That's the point Royce is making. Ragnarok is right there in the center. And how woke is Ragnarok? Thank you for the super chat, Buddy Rabbit. Because it's not super woke, and I don't know how much
it's got race swaps. It's got Freya acting like a girl boss. It's got Kratos, you know, starting to break down and cry and show emotions and things like that.
What?
And yeah, it's yeah. Go watch the cutscene movie. You can go watch the God of War. Just watch the cutscene movie. But no, it does. But again, it's stuff like that right there when you're like, yeah, they were in Spider-Man 2 and God of War. That right there, I'm telling you, dude, like that people are gonna go, yeah, I didn't see the bad part because I know people like this. Like that's one of the biggest things. And I'm like, man, I told my buddy that my buddy played the Spider-Man Miles Morales game, and I told him that the Black Lives Matter mural was in the game, and he goes, I don't remember that at all. And he beat the game, like almost 100% completed it. And he was like, I didn't. And he was like, oh, he goes, I must have just missed it. He goes, and my buddy specifically, he goes, but I don't look for this stuff. He's like, and you do. I'm like, dude, I can't not see it. It's not that I'm even looking for it necessarily. I can't not see it. But again, you're not going to, because most people aren't where we are. And you've got to realize that. Never assume that you're the smartest person in the room, but never assume that the person you're talking to has the same knowledge base that you have.
Yes.
And that's the critical failure, is I think most people assume that the other guy has the same knowledge base that we have. And I want a knowledge base that is out of my realm so I can better talk to people who are in the normie category, who aren't the political normie category, because I think that's more important.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
It does. And look, all we can do is kind of keep doing what we're doing, because I think we have been making headway in the cultural space.
Agreed. Very much agreed.
Yeah. Another super chat, we got Motocross Cooper for $10 says, the left conflates dignity and respect. You can treat someone with dignity and not necessarily respect their opinions, identity, or beliefs. This is true. But also, right, you can treat someone with dignity, right? But also you can just respect them as an individual without respecting their opinions either, which I would add. Treating them with dignity is just being courteous. Yeah, I agree. And that's what the woke try and do, is like, if you do not respect my opinions, which basically means agree, not only agree, put into practice. You have to live my opinions and use the pronouns I tell you to do. Otherwise, you are a terrible person and you're a bigot on top of it. They've gone insane with the standard that they're trying to impose.
Also, I just want to make the point: you don't freaking have to respect anybody. Respect is earned.
Yeah, I agree.
So when you say respect,
1000%.
like,
I
what do you
mean the
mean by
definition
respect?
to show deferential regard, esteem, or admire.
Okay,
Screw
what
that.
about
I don't freaking regard anybody.
Okay, when I say respect,
Deferential
I'm kind
means
of like
separate.
respecting them as a human being means common decency.
I'm not gonna kill
there are
them
scumbags
because
that
they
I don't
disagree with
respect.
me.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
gonna kill
respect
them.
their right to live.
Yes, I respect their right to live. I do not respect their dumbass opinions.
No, that's actually a good point. Like even people I despise, I will still respect their inalienable human rights, their right to free speech, their stuff like that.
Exactly.
Right? That's what I mean about respect. But doesn't mean respecting them as an individual for their choices.
Exactly.
Yes, 100%. Rolando A. Ramirez for $5 says, for people saying in chat, Angraboda was not entertained. The key to everything. Maul explains it since he played the game. Okay, so I think they're talking about something in God of War Ragnarok. And Maul, he's done deep dives on that. Thank you for the super chat, Rolando. And Motocross Cooper, $5 says, and showing or giving them respect means accepting, lending credence, or accepting the validity of their beliefs and claims. That's the issue. They think you must respect them, and the only way to respect them is to not only acknowledge or let them live the way they want to live. They want to force you to adapt your behavior to conform with their beliefs, which is insanity. Right. And they do that by social vilification, shaming, browbeating. They're some of the most dirty, low tactics. Like, if you don't do this, you're a terrible person.
They demand respect that they did not earn.
Yeah. They are literally trying to force beliefs onto other people, which is one of the greatest evils in the world, in my mind. You have no right to force belief on anyone. You can try and convince them, okay? But if they're not convinced, they're allowed to believe and live the way they want, so long as it doesn't infringe on the rights of others. What they're trying to do is actually infringe on our rights to believe and live the way we want to live, right? And that is evil. You cannot do that. And they're trying to say, but no, and the gaslighting is insane. It's like, no, we are trying to protect the rights of people to have their identity validated. It's like, you don't have a right to have your identity validated. I'm allowed to think anything of you. I'm allowed to think you're an idiot, you're an a-hole, you're a jerk, you're a clown, or a man or a woman or a dragon or what. I can believe what the hell I want to believe about you. Exactly. You don't get to force me to acknowledge or believe or think anything about you. I get that's my right is my right to believe, but to believe and judge and choose my opinion of you. And if my opinion is that you are a man because that's your biology, I have that friggin' right to believe it. You can't force that to change. Buddy Rabbit for $5 says, it has the checklist of him yielding his powers to feminine agency. Ragnarok is far less overt. Good point. Thank you for the super chat. And Rolando A. Ramirez for $10 says, sorry, Royce, but Freya wasn't a girl boss, and Kratos was worried for his son and was seeing his old self coming back, which could go badly. Freya was always the Valkyrie queen. So I don't know enough about God of War Ragnarok, but I would suggest people look at Mauler's deep dives on that. All right. Good man. I don't care if we don't get through it all, because all of this is a springboard to really important, things to highlight. And so we'll
amazing and often award-winning games that we've worked on, or actually one of those, Usual June, was at this very conference. So yeah, you've either heard us from all of these wonderful.
Yeah, she is avoiding the horrible failures. And also, is she trying to take credit for the success of these games? Like they're successful because of Sweet Baby Inc?
Yes,
no,
she is.
I'm like, get stuff.
Yes, she is.
You are the result
of
these games
but again, the demasculinization of Kratos and Freya being an overt girl boss, when that's what this company does, and they worked on that game, is not evidence enough. Again, we got the super chat a second ago. They worked on that game. It's in the game. They did.
I don't know enough of the context. Have you played the game? Because, like, for instance, like no,
I've not played it. I've gone through. I've watched all the playthroughs of it. I've watched all the cutscene movies on it.
A good example of context is Laenor in House of the Dragon. He's a gay character. Okay, it's an important part of the plot. It's not a woke element, okay? And people might say it's woke because it's a gay character. I was like, no, actually, that worked really essentially for the story, and you understand that through context. And so, with Freya being a girl boss or Kratos, everything, I don't know the context to make a judgment on it. But Mola seems to have looked at it, and I forget what is even said on that topic. Buddy Rabbit for $10 says 30% of Americans are considered politically aware. People getting off work already want to disengage even more in a game. I didn't see it is what the battle of inches is over. The 70% of normies. Yeah, no, good point. Good point, Buddy Rabbit. Well said. Okay, continuing on.
Wonderful games, or perhaps
Sorry.
I love how Asmongold is fucking highlighted over there. That's hilarious.
Like, I was
They
watching
did that
Flashcast.
intentionally.
Face and everything.
Yeah, I was watching
Yeah.
Flashcast, and these guys were funny when they were reacting to this because they were picking out everyone's thumbnail, and Flash was like, "Yeah, I'm here," because this one is right here. I think that's one of his. That
Yeah,
one
it
down
is.
there. But I think that's upper echelon gaming. You see in a lot of Endymion ones, and just people covering this.
I have seen almost every one of these channels.
Yeah. So
you're familiar with the nearly year-long hate campaign that has been waged against us as a
Yeah,
team.
hate campaign. Hate team. Hate. Yeah.
So
That's us.
let's unpack this a bit. The year-long hate campaign. Well, here's the thing. Okay, hate is neither good nor bad. All right. It depends what you hate. I think it's very good to hate murder. Murder is bad. I hate murder. I hate rape. Okay. All right. And I think it's very bad to love bad things. So love isn't inherently a good thing either. And so this hate campaign, if it's a hate campaign against Sweet Baby Inc., the company, which is pushing what I feel is a subversive and evil agenda in society, yes, I hate it. I hate Sweet Baby Inc. and their agenda and their goals. Okay. Now, as to individuals, so there are people in my life that are pretty darn woke, and I love them. All right. Okay. I think tolerance, actual real tolerance and acceptance is missing in society. And it's so funny where this side that preaches you must preach acceptance, diversity, and tolerance and all that stuff, right, are the most intolerant people on the planet. Okay. And so as to hating the people of the company, right, I try to be, and I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but I try to love all men, right? It's the whole hate the sin, but love the sinner. And I do think maybe there could be better means to try and reach out to some of these activists. But man, they seem, so many of them are so far gone that they like, tell me if I'm wrong. It seems like it's more people on the woke side of things that are cutting off conversations and associations and making that divide greater. Am I wrong?
Yeah, they've done studies.
I would say
about
that there's
it.
more people on that side. Yes.
Yeah,
Not even a guess. It's they've done studies.
Exactly. I have not severed ties with anyone over their politics.
Actually, there's a chart that shows that as a left winger or as a liberal, they say, the less educated you are, the more likely you are to stay friends with conservatives. And as you get more educated, the more likely you are to reject your friends, as to not have conservative friends. Whereas conservatives, it doesn't matter what your education level is, you will still stay friends with your.
Almost like it's an ego thing. Like, I'm way too smart.
Yeah.
Well,
to be
I'm too smart for
friends
that.
with you now.
it shows.
It's true.
It shows what.
Why don't you?
It
It's not
really
my job to
reveals-
educate yourself. I'm way smarter than you.
Well, it really reveals which side is the actual intolerant one, right? The only people that have disassociated with me, I've never disassociated with anyone based on politics, religion, ideology, or anything like that, right? Because my hope is that by having an association with them, even I disagree with their beliefs, is that I might be able to convince them to things that are more correct and more right and truthful. And you'd think that would be their mentality, but no, they're like, if you are against me, you are an enemy. And I've had people cut ties with me completely. There was a big thing with Scholar Gladiatoria and Matt Easton in the sword community that he fully stabbed me in the back and threw me under the bus and canceled a big collaboration that I'd already done. And he was all really happy and nice with me, right?
Yeah, Tim Pool actually did a video about this, about Anna Kasparian last night, about how this very topic where, like, you know, he's because he came from the left, right? But when you start having like questioning the leftist stuff, even the minor thing, like Anna Kasparian just tweeted some, she's super leftist, right? But she's like, don't diminish me by calling me a birthing person. I'm a woman. And the whole left wing
God, nuts.
they all went nuts on her, and she's like,
the same mistake J.K. Rowling did. Like, I'm a woman.
Yeah.
Just, don't call me a birthing person or a person with bonus holes. Like, I'm a woman. And then boom, she's done. She went from their Messiah to their Satan in the blink of an eye. And
she's actually coming out more lately, talking about how insane it was that people
because that's what wakes you up when you see how insane the people that you agree with are.
But
you
even
start waking up.
Cenk Uygur had to come out and say with a tweet that the difference between conservatives and leftists is that if you agree 1% with a conservative, it's like, welcome, brother, welcome to the party. But if you disagree 1% with a leftist liberal type, it's you're over. You're dead to us.
Which I think that there needs to be a little bit more.
But talk about intolerance and talk about which side is actually showing more love
that's it.
And kindness and
we want to bond on whatever we agree with. Well, whatever we agree on.
Yeah.
Like Shad and I, we don't follow the same faith, but we totally have so much we don't
like and drink a beer over the stuff we do like. You know, that's
right. And then have an enjoyable disagreement.
Yeah.
Right.
I like
don't agree on.
Mike and I probably have some really strong religious disagreements, but we get along. We're mates, and it doesn't matter. And I know we disagree about nunchucks quite strongly. All right, and
he's Japanese.
Exactly right, man.
That's the
you
weapon
have no
of his
idea
people.
how butthurt people got over nunchucks, man. I am the biggest villain in the world because I hate nunchucks. It's insane what people latch their
because you hate nunchucks.
My katana's not right next to me.
I still want to see Shad. I still want to see you do a serrated katana video.
We might be doing that actually because there's a tie into Demon Slayer where one of the characters has a kind of jagged type of katana. So we might be doing something.
I want to see because I want to see that, like how good a serrated katana.
Dude, that episode's so funny when the guy makes a sword and then he breaks them all.
Just with a rock.
Yeah.
We actually
what are you doing? And he's like,
we want to see if that's possible. We're going to try it out with a rock and see if we
can
a serrated katana keep human fat and then catch it on fire.
Oh, Rody Kenshin, man, maybe. I doubt it, but that's a video idea. All right, so let's quickly grab some super chats. But I want to end off the conversation because it's a really important point, right? Getting along with people you disagree with and not being offended or taking personally when people either attack something you believe or anything like that, because that's what the left and the ultra woke can't separate. They think an attack on their belief is a personal attack on them. And then they go full rage mode. And it's a sign of profound immaturity. That's what I like. And also people who are driven more by emotion over reason. I think it's a sign of that as well, because they get offended, personally affronted when their belief systems are attacked. And look, I do attack belief systems that I think are wrong. I will criticize them. People need to grow up and stop taking it personally. And by the way, like growing up Mormon has been really helpful for that because you learn to have to deal with it because I got attacked with my beliefs all the friggin' time.
Oh, I grew up as a traditional Catholic. I wasn't even normal.
You have to learn.
Traditional Catholic.
All right. But you have to learn to not be offended by people's opinions on the things that you even like. These are things I hold sacred, right? But that was so good for me to develop and grow because it's a part of maturity. It's like so many of these woke, insane activists, they're still children, and they get so offended when their beliefs are criticized. And
I think it's in some way because they generally do not have faith in something outside of themselves. So they have to believe that what their convictions are is that's where that faith gets redirected. So when you are
in the absence of the
attacking
faith of
their
God,
convictions,
men will put their faith amongst men, and that's not.
They put it in themselves. They put it in their own ideas, right? I used to say that when I was a kid. I believe in me. It's like, then if you're attacking what I believe, you're attacking me.
I think there might be a connection there. Yeah, there might be a connection there. Let's quickly grab I think there was 1 or 2 more super chats, and we are running out of time.
Shad,
but man, I'm having fun with this.
I saw the name of a super chatter, and I want you to read it, and then I got a quick thing that I want to say, if that's all right.
All right. So Calvin
Gulata.
Gulata?
He's Italian.
For $10 says, thanks, gents, for making this garbage watchable with your commentary. Thank you, man. I'm actually really happy you appreciate it.
We only watched like 30
helps
seconds.
I know. We're 1 minute into it. I have had enough of this nonsense and no longer keep up with the news of any kind unless it is covered by creators I respect. Well, thank you for joining us, mate. Royce, you said you wanted to say something?
Yeah, and if you guys want to go support Calvin Gulata, who has put blood, sweat, tears, and a shitload of his own money and frustration into this is a more mature comic, but it's his first one. It's called Underworld Dawn. It's on Kickstarter.com. He is one of the real ones, guys, and the artwork is fucking stunning. Oh, and by the way, he already paid to have the books in his house, so you're not waiting for him to finish the books. If you guys go back this project on Kickstarter, you guys can actually pay him and you'll get your books very, very soon. It's got, again, artwork is incredible. He's such an awesome guy. And there was absolutely no way I was going to let Shad read that super chat without shouting him out and telling you guys to go check out Underworld Dawn on Kickstarter. I can send you the link if you want.
Drop it in chat, man.
I can't drop it in the chat. I can do the private chat. I can't do YouTube chat. I'm not a mod.
And then what the heck? I should make you a mod. I will do that. We are harboring up for $2 says loyalty is not a wokest value. Conformity is. Very well said and good point. Say something in chat, Royce, and I can make you a mod.
I got you. I said it. I got you.
You gotcha. All right. So there. I can ban you. No, I need to go to the actual YouTube.
Wait, let me ban him real quick.
Sorry. I was just trying to help out one of the boys. Shit. He's coming after the boys.
Quickly. I don't even have I don't even have the live stream up. There, it's up. Will the chat appear? We asked. There you are. I almost clicked on someone else. I don't want to add as moderator. There
Lit
you
Dev.
go.
Say something so you can be
Lit
moderated.
Dev. I need to make you a mod as well.
Not
Lit
here.
Dev
Say
will
something in the chat.
Oh,
No, I don't-
Be more specific.
Yes, hello.
Type something. You said say something.
Man,
There you go. You dropped the link, Royce. You did it. You did it. You're proud. So
yeah.
He's all
This-
grown up.
this Sweet Baby Inc. video, right? We're not even a minute in, but we have had such good commentary that I've enjoyed. I've really enjoyed the conversation and stuff. I think it's worth revisiting this next week as well.
Fuck me sideways. We should have finished it.
But come on, man. This has been good.
No,
Oh,
it's
brought up
phenomenal
good stuff.
conversation because it's
Good
here's
stuff.
here's what's nice about this group is we don't all agree 100% with people. And what I like here is that we'll push back on the points that we disagree on and push each other. Why do you think that? Is that like, I like that. That breeds healthy conversation.
It does.
It's good.
And Buddy Rabbit, on that note, for $10 says, what I learned just now is I might owe both Shad and Royce an apology. As a Calvinist, I'm sorry you're wrong. I mean, I'm sorry you're predestined to be wrong. I mean, this is going poorly. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I get confused when people try and criticize faiths, and they try and do this with, people who are LDS, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, for believing that everyone who's not a member of our church is in effect going to hell. And it's like, hang on, if you believe you have the true baptism and the priesthood and authority of God, all right, wouldn't you think everyone else who's not following that faith would then be wrong? Isn't that like, wouldn't that just be a natural byproduct of you believing you have the true faith? I'm confused by the criticism.
Shad,
even though the criticism is wrong.
Stop with your logic, Shad.
But the criticism is wrong. Mormons don't believe everyone is going to hell.
You don't believe anyone is going to hell.
Well, we believe that heaven has multiple kingdoms and specifically divided into three. And so, no,
but you don't believe anyone is going to hell.
It's a little more complicated than that. So we believe that there is a temporary place that you go to before the resurrection called the spirit world. And the spirit world is divided into two places, spirit prison and spirit paradise.
Right.
As mentioned by Christ when he was on the cross and he talked to the prisoner next to him, he says, today thou shalt be with me in paradise. But 3 days later, when he was resurrected, he said to Mary Magdalene, touch me not, for I have not yet ascended up into my Father in heaven, which means paradise is a place before he returned to the presence of God. And we believe that to be the spirit world. The spirit world is divided into two things, spirit paradise and spirit prison, as is said in the book of First Peter, where Peter says that Christ went to preach unto the spirits in prison. And so it's all, Mormons follow the Bible very closely.
Which one of those is hell?
So spirit prison is effectively what we believe to be the interpretation of hell that has been adopted in larger Christianity and stuff like that. And anyone who is... You've asked me the question, so you're getting the answer.
Because I know the answers.
Yeah, and so people who are not baptized by the true, or what we believe to be the correct authority and priesthood, go to spirit prison before the resurrection. But after the resurrection, anyone who is not a son of perdition goes to one of the degrees of glory. The celestial kingdom, which is the only kingdom within the presence of God, and this is mentioned in the King James Version because they took out the references to celestial and celestial resurrections after the King James Bible. Other versions of the Bible don't have the references to celestial and celestial resurrections. And we believe that...
It's going to go 20 minutes, just so you know, guys.
Yeah, I'm almost done. But
I was going to say, I got to get going too.
Yeah, we got another super chat. But you can go to the celestial kingdom, which is exaltation, the ultimate thing that Christ... You only get that in the baptism.
He's giving it. Read the super chat.
I got... Which one? I will get to it.
He's paying you.
He's paying me to stop.
He goes...
He got me on it. It's his fault. I wasn't going to talk about the celestial kingdom. We're good. I'm giving you money. Clear. We're good. Bad luck, buddy.
I thought it was ironic, though. Oh, you think I think everybody's going to hell.
Final point. Sons of perdition don't go to a degree of glory, but it's the most people go to a degree of glory which is in heaven, but not exaltation. Exaltation is the highest degree of glory in heaven. There we go. Doctrinal sermon.
So what you're saying is nobody goes to hell.
Sons of perdition do. And if you, by the way, if you interpret spirit prison as hell, yeah, they do. And sons of perdition go to outer darkness, which is the hell of all hells.
Right. That's for Satan and his host, and Judas Iscariot and Cain. There's only two people in the scriptures that were identified as sons of perdition: Judas Iscariot and Cain. And so we know they're going there, and there might be others, but to qualify to be a son of perdition is hard. Anyway, thank you, Buddy Rabbit. I'll finish. So what you're saying is practically nobody goes to hell.
Practically.
Well, for a loving heavenly Father, that you still will have to be punished for your sins, but for a God that loves his children, it's a very comforting doctrine that's founded on biblical scripture. It's pretty good.
You leaving?
Nata something for $14.99 says, Shad, I rewatched Cinderella after watching your magnificent analysis, but in the end, the over-the-top silliness of the stepsisters makes Ever After the superior film, in my opinion. Love your work. Love you, mate. Glad you enjoyed it. Ever After's good. Is it better? I don't know. I really like Cinderella's wholesome message. Have courage and be kind. I think there's some beautiful wholesomeness to that one. But Ever After is really good. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for liking our work. And Buddy Rabbit says, Chad, I was making a joke. I wasn't going to talk about the celestial kingdom. We're good. I'm giving you money. We're good.
So
you
good.
Started up, Buddy Rabbit.
So good.
This is the thing, right? People think that I am like a pedantic researcher for medieval history and stuff like that. That has nothing on religion for me, man. When it comes to scripture and going into the doctrine, mate. I
still want to say stuff, but I know we'll go in another half.
You'll keep me up.
I gotta go to bed. I gotta be up in the morning. You got super chats.
I write academic papers based on doctrine for fun. Okay, so don't get me started on that.
I drink beer.
Taker 6105 $5 says, The same people who call Columbus Day and Australia Day racist would call an Indigenous Peoples Day in Europe racist. Go figure.
Oh, happy Columbus Day, everybody.
He's right, though. It's like they're all about protecting Indigenous people's rights for their land and their history and stuff like that, except for the British in Britain, because screw them, I suppose, even though they're the indigenous inhabitants of that
Yeah,
land.
I can solve this with White Devil.
It's all just anti-white.
Man, all right, this has been a
Columbus
wild
never landed
stream.
in America. I just want to make that point known. It's like if you
Well-
didn't, if you weren't aware, if you're one of these people who think it's all Columbus's fault, he's just a Jew looking for a homeland for the Jews after 400 years of persecution.
There's a lot of stuff
There's
that
a
we could go
lot.
into on that, but we are at the end of the stream, and this has been a wild one. This has been fun, and I do want to finish off that Sweet Baby video. So,
God.
so
I hate
everyone,
you.
subscribe to Night's Watch. Set the bell notification on. We are doing this weekly, and on the new day, and the new day seems to work for people. We've had over 300.
I'm going to be
people joining
sick
us
next
today.
week. I can feel it.
Nah,
coming
man,
on.
come on, do it. But signing off, Mike. Where are you and where you're from and what you doing, mate?
I am on Blacklist Universe. I've got all these wonderful videos about fixing different characters from different Sweet Baby Jane's title stuff, and Concord, and I even have a bunch of Shadiversity stuff down here. Oh, it's not on the front page. Dadgummit.
You missed
From
out.
when I was drawing the Shadow of the Conqueror, but I only need I don't know, like 60 subs to get to 11,000. So if everyone here would just go sub, bam, let's go.
Sorry.
There you go.
Take it $610, Shad admitted that the Celestial Kingdom gets Disney Plus and the Celestial Kingdom gets Max. That should terrify you enough. Thank you, Take it 610. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Lit Dev, what you up to? Where you from, mate?
Well, you can find my YouTube and Literature Devil going over all this nonsense, debunking all the strange things that they tell you that you're racist and everything. Actually, you're not. You just don't like terrible
Hey,
stuff. So,
whoa. Don't tell me I'm not. Sorry.
how dare you?
What
Also,
if I
I'm working
wanna
on a
be?
project. I own a little comic that should be. I'm hoping to launch this month, by the end of the month, hopefully. So
Dude, awesome. Oh, cool. That is good stuff.
Fantastic.
Let me throw that in chat.
A Motocross Cooper, $5 says, thanks for the family home eating lesson, Shad, from a fellow Mormon. Hell yeah. This is the thing. Don't give me an excuse to talk about my religion, man, because I'll take that and run with it. I love doctrine, man. Royce, where are you? Where you from? What you doing, man?
Hey, everybody. My name is Royce. I am a drunk and crazy.
I literally
talking
had
about a lot
that
of gaming lately because apparently I'm good at talking about gaming. Turns out the things you talk about with your friends are things that you're also good about talking about. I also have a Drink with Crazy live channel where I cover independent creators every single week on Wednesdays and Friday nights, because you know what? Shout out to the indie guys. We talk about all these Hollywoodites and all of these AAA gaming companies that are destroying stuff, but there's a lot of indie guys out there that are creating stuff that you might love, and you can find them if you tune in to the Drink with Crazy live channel.
And it looks like you only need about 50 more subs to get to 2.2.
My caveat to that is watch my videos. If you like what you see, subscribe. I don't like sympathy subscriptions. People never come back. If you subscribe to my channel, I want you to like it and come back. So watch a video, and if you say, hey, this guy's not for me, totally fair. Thanks for checking it out. But if you do like it, subscribe and
He
stay
sounds
tuned for the
just
next
like
one.
he does here. It's the
Mike, he's perfectly happy with sympathy subscriptions. So go
Yeah,
give him
Michael
the
I just
Go
want to
sympathy
get to
subscribe.
11,000.
Yeah,
Here's
give him
the
a
thing.
sympathy subscribe.
I've been like super busy working on this work for hire stuff, so I haven't been able to do my daily videos. So it's like my sub, I was screaming, dude. I was growing so fast, and then like got really busy, so I haven't been able to grow as fast as I want. And I just want to get to 11,000.
You can do it, mate. You can do it. Help Mike
There you go.
get to 11,000. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this stream. It's been heck of a lot of fun, and it seems like the new time slot works very well. So we will see you next week, and as always, stay on watch. See yous and farewell.